Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralist.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralist.
up.
Not only can you take a load, you can take the ultimate load, and even better than that you find your true calling and destiny in your willingness to take the ultimate load.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals. Up yours.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped
Woke
Ben
moralist.
Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Have it your way, buddy. You sons of bitches. I did everything right and they indicted me.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like?
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey.
Howdy. We're back.
Back? Oh, yeah, you were gone last week, weren't you?
Yeah, both Lance and I were gone.
How was your... That's right. So, Mike, first you, how was your week off?
It was amazing. I played Astrobot, platinumed it, had a great
Nice.
time, just relaxed, and yeah.
We have two hosts on this show that have both platinumed Astrobot. How about that?
What?
Me
Can
and
you say that about any other podcast?
Any other non-gaming podcast?
Lance,
Probably
you're
not.
muted.
We cannot hear you. Oh, well. Let's talk about Astrobot. So, did you enjoy Astrobot?
How about now?
I did.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Did you play Astrobot, Lance?
No, I've heard Astrobot is amazing. I said, I can't believe you got the platinum trophy already. And then I was like, you both have platinum trophy. I literally
I
have
got in like 4 days.
one platinum trophy for any game. Just
What?
There's
Which one?
I mean, that's
it's
fine.
a really bad.
I'm not judging you.
Infamous.
Oh, Infamous. Okay.
Oh, Infamous. Yeah, I have that one too.
And that was only because I was like, all the other gamers were making fun of me. They're like, you don't have a single platinum. I was like, I just don't care about the random, really hard trophy that takes 12 hours to get, where you got to do that one trick or something like that.
Yeah, if you don't, it's not for everybody. You don't have to care about that shit.
Yeah.
But I think I have like 18.
18?
Wow.
Yeah,
I have 2.
Really?
Yeah.
One of those
I play like
Astrobot.
you play. You're mostly PC, right now, Mike?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So my home stuff, my home console is like PlayStation. That's usually what I buy everything on.
Mhm.
So like because I play everything on that generally, I probably just have more of an opportunity to platinum games. But there's something like when it comes to like Sucker Punch, I think I platinumed almost all their games because I fucking love Sucker Punch. Like the Sly games, I think I platinumed all of them. Infamous and Ghost of Tsushima, the new one.
Oh,
Ghost
that
of
looks good.
Yote looks freaking amazing. Holy
Except
shit!
A woman is in it. You got to play as a woman.
Yeah.
I feel
can't
like there's like
disbelief. I'm mad.
there's like 3 people that have made multiple accounts online, and they're all 12-year-olds, and they're the ones generating all of these outrage things about
It's
nothing.
so ridiculous. Like, why do you have to play as a man to enjoy the game? It's a new Ghost of Tsushima game. You know it's going to be good. Shut the fuck up and just enjoy it, you freaks.
They're not. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't honestly believe anybody actually is angry about that. I think it's all
Also,
just,
there's just no video games where you get to play as a dude, as especially as a white man. There's like we don't have representation. I've yet to see maybe a couple titles every year, but like genuinely,
It's almost
when
like
was
we're
last time-
oppressed.
or being erased. You
Yeah.
know, a digital genocide, if you will, of
Right.
game characters. Yeah.
Right. You know, it doesn't
There should
matter
be
that
more.
if there's a character creation screen, I make like some
but
alien ass
that
looking
counts as
character.
erasure.
You know, it has
if you
to
can add
be
melanin,
white.
if there's a melanin slider, that's erasure. That's white erasure right there.
That's true. That's true.
Every pixel is white hate.
Or if there's
So
a top
insane.
that's a little bit too high, that's censorship,
Yep.
as was the case with
That's
Stellar
censorship.
Blade. Yeah. Yeah. Which I saw.
I'm telling you, these are. I'm sorry. I refuse to believe these people are real. It allows me to exist in a world where things aren't that insane, because I cannot for the life of me. Then again, I did see some of those freaking when who was it? Grummins, whatever his name is. There was something where people were like submitting videos of themselves complaining about Stellar Blade not showing enough like
right.
kit or whatever.
We talked about that on the show.
Some of those videos, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. These people are disturbed. Okay,
yeah,
deeply disturbed.
Goonergate.
Right. So some of them do exist.
Yeah. I was going to say that the new DLC for Astrobot is going to feature the Stellar Blade character. And there's no titties. They're censoring it.
Is it?
I'm so upset.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, it's coming out soon. It's free DLC.
Are you telling me
I saw the Helldivers one. I missed the Stellar Blade stuff.
Sexuality? That's sad.
Yeah, like why can't the robot have big boobas? Like why?
Yeah.
Why do this to us? Why take that away from us?
That's sad.
I don't even know what to say to that. Matt will be here soon. He's just has personal commitments now that go until like 8:45, so he'll just be a bit late.
Yeah, I see how it is.
He's
Family's more
important.
important.
Non-stop parties going down in New York right now. Apparently, it's just a 24/7 EDM festival. Pansexual orgies happening everywhere. It's awesome. Apparently, it's the place to be. I wish I was in New York.
I don't,
because of Eric Adams.
But
we should save the Eric Adams combo for him though, since he is the only New Yorker here.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
So we will get to Eric Adams. So I did cover it today. I didn't think I would, like, I saw the news break last night. I'm like, like this is funny to see this, whatever. But it's a local story. I don't really cover many local news stories. I don't really care. Like I'm not living in New York. And then I wake up this morning, the indictment's unsealed, and the details are fucking hilarious. So again, we'll wait for Ben. So I'm like, this is too funny not to talk about. So I did cover it. But
same.
It is just
I had no plans to talk about it either. But I saw what got me was the video where he did his press conference and he got heckled nonstop, and then the microphone was cutting out. I was like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah, it was too. That was the what. I mean, I should save some of this commentary for later when we actually watch it. But that's like the first time I've heard a protester that clearly, like in a TV like setting like that. It's like, wow. Does he have a mic too? Like they both had mics. It was
he had a megaphone, I
so
believe.
clear. It was amazing.
I mean, we can talk about Rudy if you want some pre.
Oh right.
What's happening with him?
He got disbarred.
He died.
And then he died. And then he fucked his cousin. All on the same day.
Did he drink too much of that hair ink that fell off his face or something and poisoned him?
Probably poisoned his blood. No, he got disbarred, right?
I feel like he already was. Was he not disbarred before?
I don't think officially. I think today's the day. Today was the.
Oh, it's official today.
We all Mandela.
Was there really a lineup of like? Was there really a lineup of like potential clients that he had? Like, I don't think people were really dying to go to Rudy. Think of how much that guy fucked his life up. Like this is the guy that he was the New York City mayor during 9/11. He was like America's.
He was the mayor.
What do they call him? America's mayor or something? Yeah, America's mayor.
He was the mayor of 9/11. That's what I knew of this, especially America's as a Canadian. Mayor. So I was like, that was the guy who got America through 9/11. Was Rudy.
And what happened? Like what did his brain?
Oh, he was
melt
a piece
first?
of shit back then. Like he was still implementing racist stop and frisk policies. Like the guy was still a bad dude.
Yeah,
right?
but you could apply that to like every Republican, right? Like this is like next level for Rudy. Like kissing Trump's ass as much as he did. Like, did his brain melt first for that to happen, or did it melt after he joined Trump?
I think it's been gradually melting since then. But it's hard to say because the Trump stuff broke a lot of people's brains, but then there was subsequent brain-breaking events like COVID, January 6th. There was a lot. So it's hard to pinpoint, right? Like, I know he's lost his shit. I think that the black goo dripping from his head was a pivotal moment. It might have, like, people think it was hair dye. It might have actually been like brain liquid or something like that, given his behavior. So I don't know. Have you ever so he has a cameo.
The Fifth Element. That's from the Fifth Element, right? Where they all leak like black goo out of their noses.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
You know what's funny is he has a cameo. And his cameos are so fucking unhinged. I watched a couple of them before. And there's one where it's like he's just sitting there for 10 seconds smiling. And then he starts talking. Hey, happy birthday, Clarissa. It's like, what the fuck? This is so boomer Bill.
Yeah, we got to watch that. And also you can, when we're doing the entire Eric Adams segment, can we watch the Turkish TV show that he's in? that he has a guest appearance in? Because that's also
he's in a Turkish TV show.
Yes, in a sitcom.
I thought that was AI.
No, it's real. Yeah,
That's how deep the corruption went.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what a clown!
Yeah,
he was.
I cannot. Where's Bender?
So
Hurry up!
I know.
It's taking too long.
I love how Ole just posted a video of herself laughing when the news broke, and everybody just knew what that meant.
Yeah, I tried to get her on the show today, but like
Clean up your
obviously
room.
she's quite in demand right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
her phone's ringing off the hook.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. She did this. It's her. She's the one who did it.
I agree. I don't know much about New York law, but I think that she becomes the mayor now, right?
Yeah.
By publicly owning him like that. That's how it works. You send. Yeah, it's ascension rules essentially.
Yep. Yeah,
you would think that like a lot of station, like I mean, I guess this isn't the case because I haven't seen her on TV, but like, wouldn't places want like this is like the one person who clearly was publicly critical of Eric Adams, well before before I saw that kind of criticism of him in any media, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bring the person on who knew this guy was a corrupt fool. Like, she should be like the leading voice here that you want on. But I haven't seen too much.
Clean up your room.
Who played that?
It was a pretty unreal past couple weeks for just right wing like freaks getting outed. I mean, between last week and this week, it's just been it was like the Mark Robinson thing dropped, and Ashley Madison leaks came along, then the Christopher Rufo stories came out, and then there was that anti-LGBTQ plus Republican who's also doing gay porn.
Right.
There's another one for that too that I'm trying to remember. There's two. Oh yeah, there was the RFK Jr. and Olivia Nuzzi affair, or digital affair, shall we say?
And then
Matt Gaetz
his
also.
camp.
Oh yeah,
Matt
Gaetz
Gaetz too. Yeah,
Matt Gaetz too.
He went to a sex party and a 17-year-old was there.
That's right. And now there's apparently camera evidence of it, right? Or phone evidence, anyway.
Oh, is there?
That's what was filed in that court filing. Chelsea was
and that was like 4 stories all in like one night. It's like in the span of like 3 hours.
It all happened when I was not making videos for a week. So
that's
cool.
right.
Thanks, America.
Great timing.
Although I had to talk about the Mark Robinson thing. That was the first video that I made when I got back, because now I keep saying Dookie shoot, and I keep quoting the shit that he said. I was pissing, she was pissing. Like, I just say it randomly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, you don't have to say allegedly. It's pretty ironclad. The is very thorough.
I love so much how he's like, that was not me. I didn't say those words. And the screen name was Mini Soldier, and all the like posts that he said there, like same geography. He even said on the Nude Africa website how long he was married to his wife, and then talked about it on Twitter. He also had other accounts on YouTube, Pinterest, where he had Mini Soldier, Mark Robinson. So like, there's absolutely no doubt that it's him.
He was famous. Like, he wasn't like, it's same thing with Christopher Rufo.
Right.
Your email that you used to register for Ashley Madison, that email in 2014, you weren't a public figure. Mark Robinson, when he was horny posting all over that forum, he wasn't a famous politician yet. And he had I guess the hubris. I don't know what it is where all these right wingers are like, I'm going to fucking pop off about drinking my sister-in-law's piss all over porn forums when I'm super horny, and I should become a politician now. Like, no one will ever find this. Maybe you should delete it. I don't know. It's not like,
well, and it's just the question of like, why are you posting on a porn forum? Who does that?
Yeah.
Who leaves a comment on porn?
Yeah, I know. I've always thought that. When you scroll on porn sites, you see all the comments, and like sometimes like racist comments, and you're like, you took time out of wanking off, like, oh, I can't finish this. More important business. I gotta be racist on the internet for a little while.
Yeah,
so
you make a good point. They had to have paused it, because after you're done, how are you in the mood to stay on the page?
No one has. You don't have
and add a comment,
and you're then being like, I love the KKK. I want to bring slavery back. Like,
it's so ridiculous.
That's weird, kinkish horny posting.
My god.
Yeah, you're in
so
deep
bizarre.
if you're leaving comments on a porn like website, but then you're so much more far gone than that if you're a regular on Nude Africa, a website that was like ripped out of 1995 and I guess never updated. Like, did you see the look of the website?
No, it was just like a forum. It was just like a text forum.
It's just there's a lot with that story, but I love it. I'm so glad that he's not owning it. I'm glad that he's denying it. It's so funny. I think that Kyle made the best point. He's like, okay, there's so much evidence. He should have just said, look, that was me. I was shit posting, and I wouldn't say that today. Just like own it, because that's the only way that you might be able to save a little bit of face, even though it's pretty devastating. But like
in the trans porn, you don't walk away from that in MAGA world.
That's true.
I was always in my head as soon as you saw the initial, like, there's a damning story coming out and he's going to get canceled, like he's already been distanced from MAGA. I was like, oof, this might be like something gay or bi or trans, because like he already had quoted Hitler, so I don't think they care about the black Hitler.
No, they don't care about that at all.
No, not at all. Like, but as soon as I saw, then of course.
Well, and the week or two before that, actually, there was another story that broke about the ex-employees of a porn shop that he would visit 5 days a week, and he would buy bootleg porn. He didn't pay one of the employees back, and then they ran into each other like years down the road after he became governor. Yeah, like this dude who like he would sell drugs, he would sell pot, and then he'd sell bootleg porn out of the store while he was working in the porn store. So he said that and there's like 5 other employees that corroborated this. Mark Robinson was a regular. He'd hang out there. They'd laugh together. He was hilarious. And then sometimes when he was working at a pizza store, he would bring pizza over, take it into the booth with him, because he would go there and rent tapes. They were $8 to rent a porn video and watch it. He'd rent like 2 per night. So he'd take his pizza in there, eat the pizza while he's jerking off, do this 5 days a week for like 2 years. It is fucking insane. And then the guy who was like telling the story about this, he's like, yeah, he was into pretty typical things that, straight men are into. He also had a thing for lesbians, and I heard that he doesn't like gay people. It's so believable. It's so believable.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
How does that kind of person, like, to be clear, if that's your thing, you're hurting nobody, whatever. But how does that kind of person?
Oh, I like him more now.
Yeah. I mean, the real issue is he's overtly transphobic and a bad person. But like, how does that kind of person that does that 5 times a week? How do they become? What was his role?
He's lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant governor? How do you become the lieutenant governor? What was he doing during this time while he was bringing pizza over, jerking off to porn 5 days a week? Like, what? I mean, you got to hand it to him. He turned his life around, I guess. Like, even from that to lieutenant governor, it shows that in America you could be anybody. You could really be anybody. You could jerk off to porn 5 days a week with pizza, and then you could become lieutenant governor.
Yeah, this was in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I was thinking about this after, like I covered this on like a Twitch stream. And I'm like, man, if I was able to play video games 5 days per week, that would be so amazing. I could play so many games, but like, I don't have the time for that. But this dude is like, he's jerking off 5 days a week. And that's just like 5 days a week because that employee was there 5 days a week. So, on the off days, he could have been going too.
And that's just one location. Who knows if there's other stores?
Right. Actually, there were 2 stores, I believe, that he went to. So, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
Any Republican who is like hyper focused on like queer people or is very like evangelical and a Puritan, you just have to assume that there's something about them that they're insecure about.
Every time. Yes. There has to be, because why else would you be so obsessed with like what other people are doing in their personal lives and like it's a massive tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That you actually want to police it, that you want to use the government to control them somehow. That's the next level. I guess it's a fetish, right? It's a that wouldn't be, because this is unhealthy, so it's a paraphilia. They're engaged in bad damaging behavior. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. So I'm praying for Mark Robinson. He's under attack. This is spiritual warfare.
It is spiritual warfare.
And I hope I hope that he beats these lies. He definitely is not mini soldier on Nude Africa. I didn't drink off 5 days a week with pizza.
With pizza.
From black market porn store. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, to be fair, the porn shop was legit, but the employee himself, he sold some extra stuff on the side. Yeah, and I love how the campaign
was it off menu? Was it stuff they didn't offer?
It was off menu. Yeah, it was like apparently it was stuff that was
the discerning customer, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know what was special about it. It wasn't allowed in North Carolina or something. Like it was just like maybe a little bit too crazy. I'm not really sure, honestly. But like the campaign confirmed that like they knew each other, and oh no, this guy is lying. He's a grifter. He would go into the pizza store that Mark Robinson was working at and stay there for hours. And it's like, because they knew each other. Like he's making it seem like this dude was just a leech who was trying to attach himself to him. But like, okay, if you've ever worked in those types of situations where you're in like a mall or a strip mall or something like that, like you all know each other. Like at Blockbuster, they would come in and they would bring Taco Bell, and then we would give them free candy or shit. Or take away their late fees. You do that. That's what we all do. So that was the relationship that they had. It's like, hey, buddy, you gonna come and jerk off tonight? Maybe. You want some pizza? Sure. That's what they did.
So as we wait for Bender here, we can since Bender doesn't care about this topic at all. Let me bring this up. This is some pop culture stuff that I just want to get your thoughts on this. So there's all this. I don't even know how to say her name. So is it Chapel Roan? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a church chapel.
Okay, so Chapel Roan. Yeah. So recently she had come out to say such that she was not endorsing Kamala Harris, and it was because of her stance or lack of stance on Israel. And then but that didn't mean she was supporting Trump. Anyway, so there's like
she also said she was going to vote for her. She said, "I'm not."
She's still going to vote for Kamala Harris.
Party, but I'm not. I hate Trump. Fuck Trump, and I'm going to vote for Kamala.
And then there was backlash to her, and now this person, Ethel Kane, who is another person I've never heard of, but she's also an artist, has come out to defend Chapel Roan against people demanding that she endorse Kamala Harris. So I'm guessing you guys really don't like it. Obviously, you don't. You're not angry at Chapel Roan. It's just the backlash was so bizarre to me because this is like some artist that I guarantee you the people that are angry at her haven't even heard of before the news. She's like, now people are like freaking out because, oh my God, now Gen Z's not going to vote because Chapel Roan made an accurate criticism of the Kamala Harris campaign. I don't know. Like, does this have any impact?
Very open and outspoken supporters of Palestinian liberation, just first and foremost, and they've both gotten heat for that in the past. But I think the fact that Chapel Roan is getting like I would say an entirely unfair amount for a very like the only problem I had with her take was that she equated Democrats and liberals and neoliberals with the left because she just uses the term "I hate the right, fuck Trump," blah blah blah. But there's also a lot of problems with the left, and so blah, blah. That's the only real criticism I have. But like, I think the reason so many, especially like a lot of liberals lost their minds about it is that they don't realize that this is kind of the very popular sentiment amongst Gen Z, right? Like, there's a lot of American Gen Z voters who feel this way, where it's like they hate Trump. Fuck Trump, but at the same time, they can't openly say that they're going to canvass or work or donate their time, what little free time you have, to a political party that's fueling the genocide, right? It's not a wild take. Hi, Matt.
Hello. What did I miss?
I was just sneaking this in before you got here, since we are holding the Eric Adams content for you.
I appreciate that.
I
was actually wondering. I was like, "Oh no, am I gonna miss the Eric Adams stuff? I want to talk about it so bad."
No, we're not gonna. We wouldn't do it for the only New Yorker here is on the show. That wouldn't make any sense.
I appreciate that. Sorry for being late. But the son had soccer practice, and then I would have been on maybe 10 minutes earlier. But then my daughter noticed that our beta fish died, and that.
Oh no!
That was she handled it very badly.
Oh no! Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. We noticed a couple days ago, and we were cleaning out the fish tank, and we were wondering when they would ask, but it happened right before I was gonna come on the show.
That's so sad.
Oh, then he has to leave to go talk on the internet.
I actually was in here setting everything up, just about to click the join StreamYard button, and all of a sudden I hear her crying, and I'm like, oh no. So
oh man.
She immediately grabbed a piece of paper and drew a picture of the fish with hearts all around it. So she's yes.
That's so
do you have to
sweet.
tell a story like when you flip a certain switch, then the toilet goes to heaven when you flush it, kind of thing, instead of?
Well, we don't flush them. That's
okay.
We treat our fish with respect, and we bury them out in the dirt, like so they become part of the circle of life. You know, they get in the soil. They.
Oh.
You could have cooked him up for dinner, but
he's to give you an idea of the difference between my son and my daughter. When my son was about her age, maybe a little bit younger, we had a completely different betta fish, obviously, because they don't live that long. And it was his first fish. And just randomly, one day he turned. I wasn't there for this, but this is the story that his mom told me. Randomly, one day he walked up to her and he asked. Fish was completely healthy. They had the fish for a couple months at this point. The fish's name was Seymour, and he just randomly asked, "So when are we going to cook Seymour?" So
that's hilarious. Oh, so your son's a sociopath. All right. Just like JD Vance's son. To the clip of JD Vance, is like, my son's probably out looking for a building to light on fire. Like, what the fuck? just like me.
Oh, I did not. What?
Let me find that clip. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a weird clip.
There was a time period where he was a little bit weird too. With when he would stay at his grandma's house, they would go to the grocery store to get something to cook for dinner, and he would always purposefully pick out a fish with the head still attached, like he wanted to cook that, which usually, you know, even grown adults are like, I'll take whatever that is, but no, I don't want to see the head. You know,
I don't want to look at the face. Yeah.
No, he wanted that fish to know.
Damn.
Oh, your son is interesting, just like his dad. You both are a little.
But enough about me. I saw you guys were talking about Chapel Rowan. Her name is right, Rowan.
Yes.
I'm so out of touch.
Yeah, it's Chappelle Rowan, actually.
Oh yeah, Chappelle Rowan. Right, Dave Chappelle Rowan. Right.
Dave Chappelle Rowan.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes, Bender. Do you hate her too?
I can't believe she said both sides are exactly the same and no better than the other, and that you should vote for Jill Stein. I can't believe she said that.
You think she said that?
Trump, right?
I believe she also said that she would have voted for Gary Johnson if he was running in 2024. I don't even know who the Libertarian candidate today is, so I had to go back to the old Gary Johnson.
I know, everyone knows.
Yeah, I don't.
She also said that she's
Oliver
part of the
something,
Dum
I
Dum
know
Left
that.
today.
What happened?
She's what?
She said that she's still part of the Dum Dum Left, and she's an avid Jimmy Dore watcher.
Yeah,
she also said
oh my god,
that's why liberals are so mad. Yeah,
that's why we're
I
all
heard she found out about Jimmy Dore from the Humanist Report back in the day.
Hey, fuck you.
I went to the live show.
Me too, David. Me too.
This whole thing, to be serious, this whole thing is so stupid. Like.
Right.
We talked about it a little bit on the Majority Report. Again, I'm not really familiar with her. I know that big song of hers. I know she's not like a manufactured pop star. She's someone who's been in the
She's
game.
talented.
You know, she's been grinding for a long time, which I respect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you never heard her music, I'd say a modern day Kate Bush is kind of her aesthetic and sound.
Okay, don't listen to Kate Bush either, so it doesn't help me out.
Okay.
But
if you watch Stranger Things, you definitely would have heard her one big single like 1,000 times.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's a great song.
That Kate Bush. Okay, got it.
Running up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stranger Things song. Yeah.
All right, but is that originally a Kate Bush song?
Yes, that's
yeah.
That's the original
Okay.
Kate Bush track. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Is there more on this, or should I play that? JD
No, I
Vance
mean,
clip?
I think. What I was gonna say was, no, you don't owe anybody an endorsement. She's not out there. She's not out there advocating for people to vote for someone else. She's not out there trying to depress the vote for Kamala. She's not out there telling people not to vote for her. She's even said she's voting for her personally herself. She's just withholding an endorsement because of the Democrats' position on what's going on with Israel and Gaza. I mean, you don't owe anyone an endorsement. I would understand I would understand the criticism if she was out there like advocating for people not to, like she was out there actually putting her finger on the scale saying, do not vote for. That would be one thing, but that's absolutely not what she's doing. And
I would say,
I mean,
if
she has the same position as all of us on this show.
Yeah.
We all say we're going to vote for Kamala, but we're not going to advocate and endorse her and tell people they should. Like, I mean, obviously,
I'm going to illegally vote for Kamala. I can't wait. Look forward to it.
All right, 2 people here are Canadians, right? But like, listen, we tell people to vote strategically because that's what they should do. But that's the closest I'm going to get to saying you should vote for any specific candidate. It's the closest you're going to get me saying vote for Kamala Harris. I'm not giving my time, my I'm not volunteering for the campaign.
You know that really famous tweet where it's like Twitter's the only place where you can say I love pancakes and then a bunch of people will respond with like, so you fucking hate waffles then? I think this was a really good example of that because everyone who was attacking her specifically for takes and positions she did not have. Like, oh, I guess you say you're part of the queer community, but you hate the queer community and want to see them all.
That was a stupid criticism.
Isn't she herself a member of the queer community?
Yes, she's a lesbian.
I would also say, like, if anything, her opinion here to vote for Kamala, or that she's voted for Kamala, I would say holds more weight because she is being honest about her criticisms of Kamala Harris while still saying that she's going to vote for her. To me, that is a more powerful endorsement in a roundabout way than just blindly endorsing Kamala Harris and not being willing to be critical of the obvious issues with some of her positions.
Yeah, wait, you don't think it's a stronger? You don't think the stronger position is I'm a huge pop star. The other candidate invoked my name, so now I am personally part of the equation and need to get involved only because it personally affects me. I'll Taylor Swift. Excuse me.
Well,
sorry, I have a cough.
I will say, I mean, just Swift's reach generally is the reason why her endorsement is powerful, just because people clicked on the registration link, like to say they're going.
Oh, right. No, I'm not saying one endorsement's more powerful than the other. I'm saying one is more meaningful and heartfelt than the other.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, her position is the same position as the uncommitted movement, and I talked about this on my channel, where they basically said, "Look, we're not going to endorse Kamala Harris. We can't." Because she's not going to change positions. Also, she didn't, she said that she was open to meeting with them or gave them an indication, and then she didn't meet with them. So they're like, we're not going to endorse her, but what we will tell you is that we don't support Donald Trump. We don't encourage you to vote for third parties because that could inadvertently sway the election in swing states. But we're not going to endorse her because she hasn't met us where we were there. She's not sufficient. And that's the position that Chaperone is taking. It's the position that a lot of lefties and Gen Z are taking, because you can't be enthusiastic about somebody who's saying that they're not going to change something that you've been seeing happen for a year now. You can't even feign excitement about that. There were times where it's like, oh, cool, she took Tim Walz. This is she chose Tim Walz. This is awesome. But at the end of the day, if there's not going to be substantial policy changes, then you can't get enthusiastic about that. So the best that the liberals should accept is that we're saying, hey, vote strategically, but we're not going to endorse Kamala Harris. We're not going to glaze her up. We're going to be honest. Because look, she's fucking up. She's not running the best campaign. Okay, she did good during the debate. She's running to the right on immigration, doing fundraisers with Wall Street. I mean, Jesus Christ, she's lucky that her opponent is Donald Trump, because she's running an awful campaign. Not as bad as Hillary Clinton, not as bad as Joe Biden, but nonetheless, terrible campaign. And I think that somebody, maybe it was Luke Savage, made this point that, like, it really shows that we didn't have a primary. There was no left challenger. So that's reflected in the way that Kamala Harris is running to the center and to the right on a lot of issues. Immigration, that's disturbing to me. Like, with how far the Overton window has shifted to the right on issues like immigration and foreign policy, I hate it. So I'm sorry. I hate that people like Olivia Giuliana are clutching their pearls online saying, oh, you're terrible. Fuck you for both sidesing it. No, she's making a reasonable comment here. She's saying, I'm going to vote for her, but I'm not going to fucking like it, and I'm not going to endorse her. Like, what more do you want?
I mean, that person's name.
I just want to confirm.
She's a paid person from the DNC, and
she is. She's so obnoxious.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Her posts are terrible.
She
wanna
unfollowed me because I
confirm-
criticized Democrats.
I unfollowed her before she unfollowed me, so I win.
Smart.
Wait, who are we talking about right now?
Olivia Giuliana.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
She's a Zoomer who's a paid
A
DNC
Zoomer
show.
influencer, but paid by the Democratic Party to just.
Joe Biden is awesome. I fucking love Joe Biden.
Yeah, she was defending Joe Biden. Super defending Joe Biden before he dropped out. Like just
Wait, the Democratic Party is paying people?
100%.
Folks, vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
It's like she's part of the DNC paid influencer type situation. I don't know if she's still part of that, but it seems like it. And she's also like, oh my God, I love Josh Shapiro. I hope he's going to be the VP. And then it's Tim Walz. She's like, I'm so happy it's Tim Walz. Like, shut the fuck up. God, I can't take it.
Who's influenced by someone like that? That just seems like insular thinking. Like you're just talking to people who are already going to be like who's like, oh, this person has really thoughtful opinions. Like nobody thinks that. This is,
like you know what she's going to say before
you're talking to the audience that already
mouth.
agrees with you. Like it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
All right. So, folks, you heard it right here on Leftist Mafia.
What?
Whatever you do,
What do we hear?
get out there and vote for the Donald Trump JD Vance ticket.
Not good. Believe me, not good.
Speaking of JD Vance, this is the clip I brought up earlier. This is from I think last week, but I saw this and I was like, what?
So weird.
It's so amazing when you have kids and you see how innate their personalities really are. So the 7-year-old is probably somewhere around here reading a book. He's like his mother, and the 4.5-year-old is much more like his dad. He's probably trying to find a building to burn down or something like that.
Who says shit like this about their
I think
kids?
he's just trying to joke, but it comes off weird when he's saying it.
Yes, good.
Right.
It's like, you know what? I actually believe you. I don't think you're joking here. I think you are.
Any
a
arsonists
sociopath.
in the crowd? We gotta
Anyone else love to torture animals?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
kidding.
I totally
Just kidding.
totally believe he killed animals when he was a kid. Like that's the kind of vibes he gives off.
1000%. Yeah.
I thought burning down buildings was bad. That's their whole their whole shtick with
it is a crime, as far as I know.
Well, I don't mean just the crime thing. Isn't their whole thing was like Black Lives Matter? Or there was that one day where the police precinct in Minneapolis or wherever there was some
Targets,
they won't tell you that it was like some right winger who threw it, but like someone some arsonist burnt down the precinct or something. And that's their go-to every single time to make the
property
joke
crime
about,
to them is the worst crime imaginable.
Yeah,
right.
It's above murders. It's like
property crime. Easily, yeah. Oh my God!
Should we?
These guys.
Speaking of crime,
I don't know who. I don't know where you're trying to segue to. I don't know what you're trying to go to. What are we trying to segue to here? I have no clue what's going on.
I don't know. There are many possible locations we may be able to segue to. Just like your popular knapsack has. There are so many Eric Adams quotes that are always just in my head somewhere.
I have no favorite story.
Something as simple as a crack
David,
pipe.
where are you from? Where are you from again?
I am from Toronto. Actually,
yes,
Toronto is how we say it. We don't pronounce the second T.
Toronto, right. Did you know, David, that New York City is the Toronto of America?
I heard it was these
where are you from? Where are you from, Lance? Where are you from again, Lance?
Vancouver.
Yes, Vancouver. Did you know New York City is
Tel Aviv
also
of New York.
Vancouver of America?
I wish I had. You know what? Let's bring that up. I wish I had that ready because that is one. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I do have it ready.
I didn't know that was one of his many things.
He goes. It's his go-to. That's his go-to.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Oh,
he is the funniest mayor since Rob Ford, in my opinion. Like he's a criminal, yes, but this guy is legitimately hilarious.
He's actually, honestly, I think in some ways he's funnier than even Trump.
Yeah, he is. I think he's funnier than Trump. Yeah,
he does have the natural comedy.
I'm tired of Trump, so it's,
because you know what, I do think Trump is in on it a little bit. Like I don't think he gets exactly. Yeah, I don't think he gets exactly what it is that people find funny, but he knows he's funny and he plays it up. This guy's got no fucking clue. He's got no clue.
That's part of the secret sauce. That's what makes it so funny,
exactly.
Right?
That's why it's so funny.
He thinks he is respected and people listen to what he says and that the words coming out of his mouth are like Shakespearean. He thinks he is so fucking smart.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that New York City is the Athens of America. It's the Istanbul of America. It's the keys of America. It's the soul of America. We are the Tel Aviv of America. New York City is the Islamabad of America. The Zagreb of America. We are the Lima of America. New York City is Mexico City of America. This is the Dublin of America, New York City.
He's just so ridiculous.
Can you actually grab my? There's two personal favorites of mine that I've posted over the years that people are retweeting like crazy. You got to play them. We'll do the less funny one. It might be the most insane one first. Here, I'm dropping it in the chat. This is an absolute classic, and then I'll put the other one too. So that one first, and then we got to go with. All right, hold on, and I'm dropping the other one for right after. So this is.
Okay, I'm not sure I've seen this one.
Oh
all right.
yeah, this
Eric Adams. Eric Adams is being interviewed, obviously, by a Jewish outlet. This is back in 2021, right before the mayoral campaign. It was an interview. He was campaigning. Just take a listen.
Do you plan on doing what New York City mayors have traditionally done and be an advocate for Israel?
Well, I visited Israel twice. I'm going back again, and I'm going to try to find a plot of land so it can be my retirement place. I love the people of Israel. I love the food, the culture, the dance, everything about Israel. So
where in Israel do you plan on retiring?
Oh, and the Golden Heights, There are a couple of beautiful places that I really loved when I was in Israel. And yes, I'm an advocate for the country, and I believe in the statehood of Israel. And again, Brooklyn is the Tel Aviv of America.
Do you plan on?
Said this thing.
He's just
so lost. For people who don't know, like Golan Heights is occupied, is Israel occupied Syria.
Right.
It's not really part of
Israel.
It's not really
there's also
part of
Trump
Israel.
Heights now. Yeah.
Right, Trump Heights.
But not recognized, I think, internationally under the UN, right? Is kind of where the controversy comes from.
It was probably in the news at the time. That's why it was on his mind, because it was around the time when that all happened.
I mean, the most obvious thing to say, the safest thing to say would just be like to say Tel Aviv. Like that would be the safest possible place you can say. But no, he went with a globally recognized places where Israel is occupying. I mean,
he's so stupid. Do you think he probably didn't even know, that the Golan Heights is occupied?
He doesn't. Definitely does not.
Yeah. Otherwise, he would have just. I'm going to a new settlement on the West Bank.
He probably also doesn't care. Like that's
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He may not know, but he doesn't care.
I mean, you ask him now. Who knows? He might say, "I'm getting in my reservation for some of that beachfront property in Gaza." You know what I mean? This is the kind of guy he is. He would say something that crass.
He also has said he wants to retire in a different country. I know I've seen a clip where it wasn't Israel. He's like, actually, I love this place so much, I'm going to retire here. So he uses that line for other countries when he's trying to just ask it to somebody else.
He's like a pro wrestler cutting a promo that's just like made for the audience he's currently speaking in front of. Like, like the rest of the face, like the good guy wrestler will come out and say like, there's no better town than insert town that he's currently in here. And he'll say it the next day, some other town, and then the next day, some other town. That's exactly who he is. But this next clip might honestly be.
Yeah, this is really funny.
Peak Eric Adams. Listen to how he handles the most softball of softball questions.
Mr. Mayor, we've come to the end of what was a very eventful 2023, right? So when you look at the totality of the year, if you had to describe it, and it's tough to do, in one word, what would that word be, and tell me why?
New York. This is a place where every day you wake up, You could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very
Come for the moment,
complicated
Pops.
city.
Stay
And
for
that's
the
why
9/11s.
it's the greatest city on the globe.
Mr. Mayor.
What?
I wonder if
There's
that was
layers
like.
to that too. Like it's.
I wonder if Eric Adams floated like a tourism campaign based on that answer. come to New York City, the greatest city in the world. Come and see a plane crash into our World Trade Center. I mean, what?
Or maybe a business is opening. Also, New York is 2 words, and it's a weird way to answer the question.
Right. Describe New York in 1 word. New York.
Oh, that's easy. He's like, that's easy.
Like, describe the year in New York. New York. Like, just so wow.
Do you think if that tourism campaign actually went through, there would have at least been 1 tourist who filed a complaint with the city because they didn't get to see any planes crashing into the Trade Center on their visit? I was promised planes crashing into towers.
It's almost a 9/11. Bender, I don't know if you knew this. As soon as the scandal dropped, all these news stories about like the funniest Eric Adams story everyone was sharing theirs, and I'd seen most of them, but the one I had never heard of before was that there was a team of reporters that staked out his house before the election to find out if he lived in his New York address, and they found him showing up there one night. He showed up at something like 4 a.m., parked his car in the alley blocking traffic, caused a traffic jam, and then just slept, like left his car there until a car towed him a little bit to move it out of the way. And then he woke up and didn't want to be in the traffic he created, so he drove on the sidewalk as a getaway because he didn't want like anyone to see him. Yeah, and just photos of him driving on the sidewalk to avoid the traffic jam he created.
He's been corrupt as hell for years. Like when he was the Brooklyn borough president, there was an ongoing story. Now this is like small municipality stuff, but this is where, like, in my opinion, like you could really tell how corrupt someone is. Like if they're corrupt on like the local municipal level of positions, then they're fucking gonna be corrupt as hell. So the big story here was so Brooklyn City Hall is like in the middle of like, you know, like a pedestrian like area where pedestrians can walk. It's a big pedestrian walkway. It's like a little like a pedestrian like square, and he allowed his staff and police and anyone who had connections with him to literally fill up the pedestrian square and treat it like a parking lot. And pedestrians, like people who live in Brooklyn, would complain, like, I can't get through. I got a stroller or my wheelchair, whatever. There's cars filling up what's supposed to be walkways. No, it was his personal parking lot that for whoever he decided to allow. So like small board things like that. The dude is like the most corrupt. And when so I guess let's talk about it. Let's get really into it now. So last night, as you all know, came out that Eric Adams was indicted. It didn't the indictment didn't come out till earlier today, but what was interesting was just before the indictment was reported yesterday, AOC, who I'm going to assume she had some heads up, being that she's a House member. Someone must have told her something, because earlier that day, yesterday, she had called on him to resign. And he basically came out and put out a statement attacking AOC, saying, how dare she say something like that based on rumor and innuendo. It's just not true. He hasn't been charged with anything. And then a few hours later, it becomes clear that he's being charged with something. And then today we find out that he's being charged with a hell of a lot. I don't know if any of you have it in front of you. I'm sorry, I got here a little bit late, so I don't have the indictment in front of me.
Find
It's a bribery,
wire fraud. What else is it? There's 5 charges altogether.
With a foreign government or something worded like that,
right?
Right.
Because of all those flights to Istanbul.
There's actually investigations involving, so don't be surprised if there's more, involving a number of countries where he apparently had inappropriate sort of foreign financial or otherwise relationships with. And one of those countries is Israel, by the way. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, if someone paid him to say he's retiring in the Golan Heights. But
Here we go.
excuse me.
So charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, federal program bribery, receiving campaign contributions from foreign nationals, wire fraud, 2 counts of solicitation of a contribution by a foreign national, and bribery. And some of the details are just, they're hilarious. Like at one point
for the flights.
Yeah, like so a representative of Turkey goes to his aide asking if, you know, if Eric Adams wants to take some money. And the aide's like, I don't think he wants it to, that sounds illegal. He doesn't want to do that. And then, but I'll ask him. So in the indictment, it's like that after asking Eric Adams, the employee is surprised to find out that Eric Adams is actually very happy to take the money from Turkey. And essentially it's called a straw donation. So it's through, I guess, a New York citizen. So it looks like it's real. And then there's a New York City matching funds. So he ended up stealing $10 million in public money through matching funds from Turkey.
This is the excuse me, sorry, I got a cough. This is actually, I think, the big one. Like, I know people are spending a lot of time on the funny stuff, but this is the big. But this is the big one here. Like, in order to hide these illegal donations, they had to funnel it to make them look legal, and in doing so, those funds were eligible for public matching funds. So basically, in New York City, for local races like the mayoral race, you raise a certain amount of money, and the city matches it. Now, this is meant to help out, like, you know, smaller campaigns, but here we go. It works for this too. And so basically, like David said, $10 million was given to Eric Adams and his campaign based on funds that were illegal contributions, meaning he stole $10 million from New York. He stole $10 million from New Yorkers. This is the same guy who cut funding to our public school libraries and took away a whole day of the library being open from New York's children, and frankly, anyone who wanted to go use a library for months. The New York public libraries were closed every Sunday because Eric Adams cut funding. This guy said there was not enough funding for our libraries, but we could give him and his campaign $10 million. This guy needs to resign. This guy needs to resign.
Well, yeah. I think he's going to jail, isn't he? Like, this all seems pretty bad. I mean, I'm definitely not a lawyer or anything, but like every single person I know who does or works with lawyers has been like, this one's pretty rugged. It's a lot of very serious charges from a federal investigation. And yeah, if they have a lot of damning evidence from all the seizures of his phones and other stuff like that and records of the transactions.
Oh, speaking of the phone, did you guys see this? We can go into the hilarious stuff now. So apparently, when news broke that there was an investigation into all this, Eric Adams claims that he changed the password of his personal cell phone from a 4-digit combination to a 6-digit combination so he could preserve what was on the phone, because he didn't want his staff to try to delete anything. He wanted to help out the investigators. But when the investigators came to confiscate his phone and they asked him for the password, because he had just changed his password, he conveniently claimed that he forgot what the new password was and couldn't help them.
It's like someone in grade 7 forgetting their homework. Like it is so obvious he is lying. Like, as you say, he says he increased the complexity of his password from 4 digits to 6. Adams had done this, he claimed, to prevent members of his staff from inadvertently. Why would they inadvertently try to get into his phone? Is the first question. But inadvertently or intentionally. Also, why would they intentionally try to get into his phone? Deleting the contents of his phone, because according to him, he wanted to preserve the contents. Like, it's just obviously.
But then he forgot the password. Yeah,
and then
there's another great moment.
Exactly,
another great moment. This isn't Adams himself, but it's another great moment where a staffer is being interviewed by the FBI, and during the interview, the staffer excuses himself. So I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. The staffer excuses themselves so they can go to the bathroom, and investigators found out that they actually went to the bathroom to delete the encrypted messaging apps on their phone in order to destroy evidence.
Yeah, communications between them and Adams, them and the Turkish official. It's so fucking funny.
The airline too.
God.
The airline one's
yeah.
amazing. There's a bunch of amazing airline ones. One is his partner, which I didn't know he had a partner. His partner was confused apparently because Eric Adams had told them that they were taking a trip from New York to France. And when the partner contacted them, Eric Adams told them that they were in Turkey. And apparently Eric Adams' response was, you know, my first stop is always in Istanbul, baby.
Yeah.
And the reason why that was because whenever he could, he would use Turkish Airlines because they would give him free flights. Or in order to help him get away with the taking the freebies, they would charge him lesser rates. There's one conversation.
It's even
that's amazing where
funniest one.
Eric Adams needs a flight. The Turkish Airlines person is like, oh, excuse me. Oh, for Eric Adams? No problem. Just $50. And they're like, and the staffer gets back and they're like, yeah, the people are watching him now.
Yeah, that's absurd. I think
$50 is absurd. You got to charge us a more realistic price. And the Turkish Airlines person's being all silly about it with like smiley faces, like, oh, you tell me how much to charge and I'll take care of it. And they're like, and the staffer's like, well, you got to charge him at least $1,000. So they end up charging him $1,000. But the extra kicker on top of that is Eric Adams was given a rate of $50, but he asked to pay $1,000 so it looked more realistic. But in reality, the actual ticket price, the ticket value of those tickets wasn't $50, wasn't $1,000. It was $15,000.
Which again makes sense for first class or business class on.
But he paid $1,000, so clearly it was all above board. It's all fine. This conversation I find so hilarious, though, the one with his partner, because his partner apparently wanted to go to Chile, and
you're showing the wrong one. You're showing the wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's the wrong one. But it wanted to go to Chile, and Eric Adams is like, does Turkish Airlines fly there? So the partner calls Turkish Airlines to see if they have flights from New York to Chile, which they of course don't. Why could they have flights to Chile? Like, it's just like, because he knew he could just get free flights. It's so wild.
Didn't you know that Easter Island is the Istanbul of Chile? I mean,
this is the one. Transferring here, first stop is always Istanbul. When Adams' partner later inquired about planning a trip to Easter Island, Chile, Adams repeatedly asked her whether Turkish Airlines could be used for their flights. It's just it's so stupid. Oh my God. This is so overtly criminal. Like, it's insane what clearly this man has gotten away with so much in his life to be this brazen and this reckless in his criminality. It is just wild.
As an ex-cop.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense.
Makes it less surprising, honestly.
Yeah.
We should also connect the dots here, because in return, Turkey asked him to open up a building for the Turkish consulate before it was ready, I should say before the fire department had not approved this building to be open. It wasn't like it wasn't safe
inspection. Yeah,
it wasn't safe. So, but Eric Adams opened this place for Turkey in time for Erdogan to show up, and that is what tipped off investigators to be like, "What? Why? Like, clearly, this is a bizarre move to force this place open when it's not ready."
Right.
And the fire official who was in charge of approving it was told that if they didn't approve this by Eric Adams' order, then they were going to lose their job.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
which is a massive red flag.
I would assume this is really serious when you fuck with like fire inspection regulations for the safety of your constituents, right? Like, that's
on a 36-story skyscraper, by the way.
Two fire chiefs. We don't know if this was directly related to this, but two New York retired New York City Fire Department chiefs were also charged with taking bribes and stuff. Like this is we had the New York City chief of police recently resign because it came out that his brother was basically doing like the mobster thing with local businesses and shaking them down for money in return for protection, and was kicking back money apparently to police officials. And then on top of that, the interim police chief that Eric Adams appointed was just raided for something else as well. And then just 2 days ago, I believe it was, the New York City Department of Education had resigned. We don't know what that's all about yet. This dude has surrounded himself with corrupt officials. Like the whole administration, like New York City is basically just fucking Gotham.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need that, man. That's what it's sounding like. Or
he's just standing up for New Yorkers. That's why he's there. They're coming after him because he stood up for New Yorkers.
Yeah, he's being targeted. It's very telling that Republicans and like influencers who are conservative are supporting him. They're saying this is happening because he exposed Biden's migrant crisis. It's so wild
he
to me.
spoke out against the migrant crisis, so they went after him. And then within Fox News had 2 segments, and they got the Fox News lawyer to go through the indictment, and you can tell the flip that happens right afterwards, where they ask the Fox News lawyer, they're like, "So is this because he criticized the migrant thing?" It's like, this investigation started long before any of that, and it's very serious, and we should treat it as such. And then Fox News kind of started reporting on it honestly afterwards.
It's so stupid for them to even ask that question. Like, are you serious?
I could have told you that this guy was corrupt as hell. Like none of these things surprise me. The idea this is revenge for like the migrant crisis stuff is absurd. This guy's got so much. Listen, I'm sure every fucking New York mayor has been corrupt as hell. I mean, it's New York City, and our mayors have actually all fucking sucked. People think this is some like progressive mecca because it's New York City. We're the city that elected Rudy Giuliani to 2 terms. I mean, come on. I mean, but like Eric Adams was so openly corrupt
on your cops. Like it's $11 billion, right? That's the NYPD.
Yeah, I remember Bloomberg was flaunting that he had his own personal army that went with the NYPD. Like he would call them that.
Can you imagine how I like New York as it is? Can you imagine how much better the city would be if it was properly run? Like it's wild to think that despite how terrible these mayors have been, that the city has managed to still and it's because of the people, because of the culture. It isn't because of
Yes.
Well, there was that big story a couple of days ago where how Eric Adams basically filled up the subway system with cops to crack down on people jumping the turnstiles.
That's right.
And there was a situation a couple of days ago or a week or 2 ago where the NYPD shot 4 people because they were chasing down a guy who jumped a turnstile. They shot the guy who jumped the turnstile. They shot 2 bystanders. One guy they shot seriously in the head. And I believe he's got brain damage. And they shot one of their own cops.
And Eric Adams tried to sell the whole thing as like an attack on cops. He was like our brave.
Oh, he said it was a good. He said it was a good. He said it was a good shooting, and he's defended them. This was over $2.90. Eric Adams is chasing down New Yorkers over $2.90 while he's fucking stealing $10 million from us.
Yeah, that's insane.
But the people love him, Matt, as you can see when he appeared here. This is his appearance, public appearance.
Yeah, that's protest. Here's it.
You heard our schools, our streets are dirty, our children are harassed by the police. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You can shush me all you want, but the people are with us. And this is not a black day. This is a justice day.
First of all, I want to thank you for being here this morning.
You gotta love the.
And I want to thank.
You gotta love the car alarm going off behind him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
things are under control.
He's just like dumb. Like, let's just take that moment. Like, obviously, this is just a silly moment, not big picture, but like, even on this level, this is how this guy is so careless. You just got indicted. There's going to be a mass movement against you. There are going to be people protesting you. You're holding your first press conference since the indictment. It's also fucking raining outside, so you have an excuse as to do this. Why wouldn't you move this indoors where you can control who shows up? This guy's just dumb.
If you watch,
he wants to show he's a man of the people. He's out there with the people.
Somebody was like, "You sound like Mr. Trump, sir," when he started to get into the
really?
denials. And then somebody was like, "How dare you say he sounds like Trump?" And they started arguing. And then at the end, as he was walking away, they started to chant, "Resign, resign, resign." And there was even a moment where the microphone started fucking up. So he's just sitting there and it's like, and just like people talk. It was such a clusterfuck. I really enjoyed it. Before we get off of the subject of Eric Adams, I just have to share this. Nate Silver really has his finger on the pulse. It's probably foolish to think an NYC mayor will successfully translate into being a national political figure, but I still think Eric Adams would be in my top 5 for who will be the next Democratic presidential nominee after Joe Biden. This was from 2022.
Complete fucking idiot. Nate Silver, once he stopped looking at numbers and attempted to get into punditry, it just completely... He's a fucking moron. He is a fuck. He's one of those guys where like he's only good at one thing. He's only good at math. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything else, bro. Like please, you get off Twitter. Like don't even speak. just sit there in your room, crunch the numbers, and that's it. Like you can't.
He's
do
a
shit
Dr. Ben Carson, isn't he? Where he's like, you have this world-renowned brain surgeon, but then he talks about politics, and it's like, oh, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's Nate Silver.
Wrong.
Same with Sam Harris.
Whenever he gives his opinion, he's always wrong.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate when people who are like doctors in something very specific, like you're a neurologist. That's you know so much about that one specific topic, more than like any of us will ever know in our lifetimes. But at the same time, you're going to talk about like 1350 black crime statistics and stuff like that on your podcast. Like, what the fuck? You know, it's really turned me off. People like Sam Harris.
Yeah. They get that clout from like that one thing that they may have knowledge of, and then apply it or try to use that clout in anything else, and it just they're exposed. Anyone that knows better, they're exposed. But it's unfortunate that a lot of people fall for their bullshit because they're like, "Oh, this guy's a genius. He must know what he's talking about."
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Yeah, it's like Nate Silver. He's still brought on to like talk shows and shit, like as like an expert opinion,
promoting his book and stuff. Which speaking of people who think they know everything, promoting their books, Hillary Clinton is back in the news. Did you all see that?
Why?
Shitting on the pro-Palestine protesters. And also promoting her brand new book.
I heard of this. I did not see this.
It's really bad. I didn't do a video about this. I was seething, though, listening to other people's commentary on this. I watched Majority Report and Secular Talk's coverage of it. And yeah, she basically talks about how these protesters at Columbia University, they are not just, pro-Palestinian. They're pro-Hamas. And on top of that, she went full Alex Jones, and she insinuated that they're being paid by Iran to do these protests because they're just not organic. It was so bad. And she's doing this before an election. Like, she's pushing her book. She's trying to hawk that bullshit before an election. So she's capitalizing on that. And then she's saying something that is turning off young people to the Democratic Party. Like, if she actually wanted Kamala to win, she would go the fuck away. But like, part of me actually thinks that she wants Kamala to lose, so she doesn't see like a woman president because it has to be me. So there can never be anybody else.
She's trying to make it about herself.
When you said hawk, and then followed up with hawk her book, I thought you were gonna say she said something about the Hawk Tua girl, and then I got this vision of Hillary hearing the Hawk Tua thing, not knowing anything about it, just like how she said Pokemon go to the polls. She's like, Hawk Tua the polls.
You went on a whole mental tangent off of that thing Mike said. That's hilarious.
Speaking of, so since you brought her up, the Hawk Tua girl.
Speaking of trying on jobs,
she just launched a podcast called Talk Tua, and look at this.
I said we weren't doing this.
Look at this. How depressing is this? Look at the top
This is
three.
a communist podcast on the top.
To be
four.
fair,
That's all I'm gonna
knowing
say.
nothing about the Hawk, knowing nothing at all about the Hawk 2 girl, I haven't even heard her voice. I would probably take her over the other three. So
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
I'd rather see her there than the top three.
Of those four, that's true. I would listen to it before the other.
Absolutely.
Oh God,
Yeah.
nightmare podcast rotation.
I would rather listen to her talking about hawking a loogie disgustingly on dicks than the Nazism that we see in the top two.
Is this
Also, what is it? What is it with
ranking
Spotify?
like one state or something, or is this all America?
I don't know. This was shared by
This is
USA. Oh my God.
But wait, this is just on Spotify though. If you look at Apple Podcast, it's like completely different list.
Is it?
I don't know what it is about Spotify.
Joe Rogan, that's what it is.
I mean, I know why Joe Rogan, because they have to deal with Spotify.
I know,
That's
but
where you gotta
he
listen.
brought in the podcast listeners there, and guess who his audience is? He brings in the rest of
Right,
them.
that's right. I mean, also maybe there's a particular, because I don't think that's helping out the Hawk Tua girl. Maybe it is a bit, but you know,
You're right.
So
On
it
the
probably is a little bit.
So the number one podcast on Apple Podcasts is 60 Minutes. Number two is The Daily by the New York Times, then Criminal Attorney, then Scamanda, then Witness Night Shift, then Joe Rogan at number 6. Joe Rogan's number 6 on Apple Podcasts.
All right.
Okay.
I respect the Apple Podcast audience more than the Spotify audience.
Right.
Oh God, then Pod Save America. They're still doomed.
Oh God. But honestly, I take that over the Candace
the rest of them. Yeah.
And Tucker Carlson. God, what a grim state of affairs that we're in. I was looking for new books to read, and I saw, like, I just went to like the top charts. You see Vivek Ramaswamy's new book. Then you go one down or a couple down. There's Melania, and just all this conservative garbage. And it's like, why, America? Why?
You should all be buying Mike Figueredo's new book. I have a copy of it.
Yeah, buy that book.
That's who you should purchase.
I pre-purchased that book on Amazon. They canceled my order, telling me that they could not fulfill it.
What?
What's going on here?
Because it was too woke, right? Yeah, I got the same thing.
They canceled it on me.
Too woke.
Yes, they canceled it. I have the email. They canceled my order. I'm like, what's going on here?
Amazon is so bad. I don't
Did they
know.
not ship to Canada? Is that what it is?
It should be able to ship to Canada because it's fulfilled by a Canadian company. It's like Rakuten or something. You can buy it from there.
You got it off Amazon?
Yep.
I
know that
why mine was
when
canceled.
it first
That's weird.
came out, it sold out apparently, but I don't think it did sell out because it wasn't reflected that in like the numbers that I was looking at. And then they raised the price to like $25. I'm like, is that supposed to be $25? It's not even 200 pages. Like, I didn't set this.
Wait, they raised the price without telling
They
you?
raised the price.
Wow.
It's set at $14.99 for the physical and $10 for the digital, and they raised it to like $25. It's back down to what it should be, but I'm like, what the fuck? I don't think I'm gonna see that. Like, fuck you. Like, I get like $2 per book, and you're getting like, how much from this, Amazon? Fuck off.
Oh no, my book is going up in price. I swear I'm not behind it. Sure, Mike. Yeah, we know. We know.
Apparently it's sold out again. No, I got the worst problem.
Shucks.
But yeah, America, buy that book. It'll
I swear I'm not seeing any money from my book that's self-published being sold. I promise you.
I don't think it's promising that. The only reason I bought it is so I might get some money.
Yeah, it's.
I just think because I want to leave a review in the Amazon. You can only do it if you purchase the product, so that's why I wanted to do it.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay. That explains why it wasn't brigaded yet. I'm like, why haven't right wingers rated down my book on Amazon? This is so
They'd have to
weird.
buy it to do it. That's
oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, here we go. Order placed June 1st, and it's under the canceled. They canceled it on me because they couldn't fulfill it. That's very bizarre.
Amazon hates me.
I'm
They also kicked me out of their program back in the day where you can use the link. And like if people use that link to shop on Amazon, then you get like a kickback. So I was using this. Well, they kicked me out because they linked to a video saying I violated the terms. And apparently I was saying that they should bookmark the link when you're not supposed to do that. But the video that they pointed to was a video of me talking about Jeff Bezos and his greed and exploitation. And that's
funny.
Specifically the one that they sent me. So they're like, we're removing you from the program. Like, oh, fuck off.
Wow.
I wasn't
That's
making any
really
money from
funny.
it anyway, so I don't give a shit.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you can't tell people to use your link that way.
I had no idea either because everybody else was doing it, so I was as well. I was just starting out.
So I'm sorry, you can't do what? I don't have one, but you can't do what? You can't tell people.
You can't tell people to bookmark it and use it.
Then
you can
why,
you can say,
what's
hey,
the
buy this
idea
product
behind
from
that?
Amazon, and then
Okay.
if they use that link, then you get like some commission or something. Like I think it's a really small amount, like
Okay.
it's 2% or something like that.
I guess
But
their thinking is that bookmarking it gives like you an unfair advantage. But if everyone's saying it,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't matter.
yeah. Well, apparently everybody stopped saying it, and I didn't get the memo. I wasn't really I wasn't paying attention to it. I just had it. But yeah, they specifically found it under that one video of me talking about
Yeah,
Jeff
no,
Bezos.
clearly there was some other intention there.
It was a
Are we going
political
to talk
witch
about
hunt.
Ken Klippenstein getting 1984'd at all?
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he will be.
We need a new Twitter files for this. Can anybody ask Matt Taibbi if he can look into this?
Well, they according to Twitter, the reason they suspended him was because the dossier included personal details about JD Vance that would be considered doxing, like his personal home address, apparently his social security number or a portion of his social security number.
And didn't link directly to it though. He linked to his Substack, which had a link.
Right. He right. It's absurd that they're getting that level deep because why it's not the dossier wasn't posted on their platform. He like you know what I mean? Like they clearly targeted him because of what it was about. But also I sort of wish I don't think I don't think that particular information has any public value, regardless of what your feelings on it are. So it would have been interesting to see if he had, just blurred out specifically that information. If they would have suspended him.
They said it revealed his social security number, and it didn't. It has a couple numbers, then XXXXX. So I mean, again, you'd have to
right.
I think there's 10,000 combinations.
They use that. My assumption is my read on this is they use that as the excuse because it does, I guess, fit what they're again though the fact that he didn't actually post the document itself sort of
and they changed your Twitter policy
falls apart.
for hacked releases too, right? Post Elon, it actually falls within the bounds of his new Twitter policy, not the old one, but the new one.
I think his hacked materials policy, I believe it might be even more stringent than the previous one.
Not according to the Yahoo article I was reading about this, like right before the stream.
Well, there's a Wired journalist. I think his name is Del Cam. He's been banned for Twitter for good because he posted the Matt Walsh. Remember when Matt Walsh's phone was hacked? He posted that material and he's banned for good for doing that.
Wow.
But if you're a Nazi, it's perfectly fine.
Yep, of course.
Right.
It's weird where the lines are drawn. Like you want to ban someone over that, whatever. You have your rules, but for you to have a line for that, but not a line for the most vile, fucking, disgusting people in the world is a little interesting.
Yeah, he brought back so many people. He brought back Nick Fuentes. We see open Nazis. There was a fucking photograph that some guy had shared of a little girl Sig Heiling with a swastika on a shirt saying, "Yep, raising her right," or "proud dad." It was something like that. And it was like I saw that somebody had shared a screenshot of it, and I'm like, "What the fuck? How does this happen on Twitter? Like, this is why the ads aren't coming back." Like, he understands this, right? This is why they're not coming back.
I mean, I don't think he cares. I mean,
okay,
it's clear what the issues. It's clear what the issues are.
A pre-Musk version of the policy dated 2019 stated that posting or linking to hacked content is prohibited. Under this policy, links to a story by the New York Post about Hunter Biden, the current president's son, were banned. But in October 2020, Twitter changed its policy to say that it would no longer block hacked materials after an outcry about how the company had handled the Post story. Straight blocking of URLs was wrong, and we've updated our policy and enforcement to fix it, wrote CEO Jack Dorsey. Musk was one of the people who was unhappy with the decision to ban the links to the Post story, suspending Twitter, which is what led him to decide they want to change that policy. But according to The Verge, it still doesn't fall under that policy. It's just like he didn't directly link to the hack material. He did it to a secondary source. They've banned all links to Ken Klippenstein's personal site. So you can't, on Twitter, you can't link to the article from Substack at all.
Jeez.
I mean, it's clear as hell that there's a, if there's a separate set of rules for the people that Musk likes. Like if a dossier on Kamala Harris or Tim Walz was released, would this same reaction happen?
Yeah,
he would share it himself. Yes,
he would share it himself, of course. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that was the kind of the shitty thing. I don't know if you guys read the leaks or the summary of the leaks. There's nothing really that interesting in them at all. It's all the stuff you already know from every podcast that JD Vance does. Like, yeah, he's an extremist. He wants to ban abortion outright. He wants to prevent women from traveling from state to state. But all things that he's just said out loud on podcasts already. Like their dirt on him is that he's a freak, which everyone already knows.
Right. It's not surprising.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I think a lot of other news organizations didn't publish it. Because even though like publishing a dossier, that seems sensationalist, but it's not surprising. So they were trying to take this high and mighty approach, like, oh, we're not going to do that. We're not going to engage in that one. It's like, yeah, but really you would if there was something to be gained, but there's really not, because it's not really that big of a bombshell. So Ken Klippenstein doing this is not like, it's not a big deal. But I think that Elon Musk is making shit up as he goes along. And yeah,
also, if you read Ken's official statement on this, he says specifically, and the difference between him and Matt Taibbi is Matt Taibbi was given documents by Elon Musk and then had editorial control over what Matt Taibbi said, and then Matt Taibbi basically wrote this fan fiction of which he told a story that was very one-sided about the Twitter files. Whereas Ken was saying specifically, I'm not going to alter this in any way because I want it to be in its original form, so anyone who wants it, it's in the public interest, has access to it now. That was his kind of rationale. There's no.
I do think there is value to, and I'm not criticizing Ken Klippenstein. I'm just giving my opinion on this, on how this is done. I do think there is value in a journalist going over it and just making sure that things that the public don't need aren't included.
For sure.
And I do wish he had done that with that specific information, just so Twitter and Musk wouldn't have that to fall back on. Because to the larger public, that is going to sound like we understand how bullshit it is, but that's going to sound like a valid reason to
oh yeah, I already saw my replies on the Everything app with all the Nazis all being like, oh, so you're okay with someone doxing his personal family home address and his social security number? You're okay with that? You consider that to be free speech? And then it's like, the
I don't need to know where he lives. I don't need to his actual, in terms of his exact address. I don't need to.
Well, I mean, I would like to know personally. I'm just kidding.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, it would be interesting to see what their excuse to suspend him would have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't have had that, and I think it would have been a more powerful knock on them to have. Because what would be the fallback? That Ken Klippenstein's a journalist. He received leaked material like any other journalist does from whistleblowers or whomever, and he published it. Isn't that what the Everything app, where news breaks, isn't that where that's supposed to happen?
Not if it's about politicians you like.
Yeah.
So do you know about this? Apparently part of it is that Trump is being threatened by Iran, and Trump has also said that he's gonna attack Iran day one unless they back off. He said that in one of his press conferences, and that's also somehow related to this, because this was like a hack by either the government or an associate or an affiliated group with the Iranian government that actually originally got the document, which is, like, for anyone who doesn't know, the document is essentially the vetting file on JD Vance. Like, how good would this guy be for the vice president? How much dirt does he have? How many skeletons does he have in his closet? And clearly they did not care about the many, but
right.
Yeah. Was there anything that came out of it? Like, I missed half the conversation, but did anything actually come out of this?
No, unfortunately, because like I was saying, for a guy who's online and has been doing podcasts for years, we know what's inside his brain now because he's been on so many podcasts, right? He's just been sitting across from people where he's like, I think women should be arrested if they try to have an abortion out of state. I'll make sure that never happens again. I'll track their menstrual cycles. And that's the kind of things that were in there. Like he is incredibly, extreme on his abortion stances outside of the norm of the political, what is considered to be normal, Overton window on the discourse. So that'll have to be reined in kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't buy the story about Iran wanting to assassinate Donald Trump. We've seen no evidence of that, and whenever the intelligence community just says something without providing evidence, I'm sorry, I'm going to be skeptical. Just because I grew up during the Iraq War days when they straight up just lied, so I need more evidence. So if they just say something, it worries me, especially right now with all of the saber rattling in Israel against Iran.
You're talking about how you knew 9/11 was an inside job, but they
Right.
wouldn't let you talk about it back then. Yeah.
Yeah, and also jet fuel can't melt steel beams, so
It's math.
Right. Thank you.
Dinder's eerily silent on this, but
And the moon landing was fake.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second to blow my nose, so I missed some of this.
If you want to change topics, there is. I got some. This is Lance related news in that it's BC news, and I just saw this today. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on over there in old British Columbia. But this.
Oh, that's what BC stands for. I was wondering what.
Yeah, our slogan is beautiful.
Christ.
It's beautiful.
So
it is beautiful.
I thought it was Bussy, Columbia.
Bussy, Columbia. That is a better name.
Might be an improvement. This apparently is some conspiratorial thing, and this is the leader of the BC Conservative Party.
Let me give a 2-second heads up to
Yes,
anyone.
please.
Just I can give a under 30-second rundown. We had two political parties in BC. We had the BC NDP. They're considered like the lefty party. They're the Soc Dems, and we had BC United. They're considered the Liberals. This guy was so extreme that he got kicked out of BC United. He started his own fringe party called the Conservatives, and then BC United dissolved, effectively removing Liberals as an option on the polls. So now you have a choice between the NDP, which have gone way more to the center to appeal to the centrist voters. So they're now the Libs, and him, which is extreme conspiratorial. Climate change isn't real. Kids are going to have to be forced to eat bugs.
That's what this is.
Change operations in schools, like super racist, like extreme shit.
It's weird that the second you brought him up before I even read the Chiron, I'm like, this guy's a conspiracy theorist. He just has that look.
He has that look. Yes.
Right.
Dark room too.
Yeah.
The new plant was built in Ontario, I think in the Ottawa area. This plant produces 40,000 tons of bug protein for human and animal consumption. 40,000 tons of bug, and there's a second plant that's now in the process of being built. We should not be expecting our kids to eat bugs. The new plant...
Maybe your kids won't.
So, like, first of all, the interesting leap there that he makes. But this is I had not heard of this conspiracy, but eating the bugs is a phrase that refers to a conspiracy theory we've been seeing quite often in a lot of different conspiratorial spaces, but predominantly the far right. Refers to the idea that not only are alternative protein sources being explored by companies, but it's part of a larger plan to eventually replace meat products.
Where do these people even understand like the way that the market works? Like that's not going to happen unless people are all of a sudden in favor of bugs, which that might take a while.
Well,
but like, what?
I'm also going to throw a shock to a lot of people. We already eat a lot of bugs. You might not know this, but the majority of like a lot of red dye in foods actually comes from bugs. People don't think about it, but a lot of the foods that are nice, shiny, and red or bright red or stuff like that comes from a specific insect dye, and people have never had a problem with it. They don't think twice about it. They're just like, oh yeah, neat, red. Tasty, kind of thing. But you're already eating bugs. You also eat bugs if you eat mass-produced farm food. There are turbines that have to harvest enormous amounts of crops and things like that. You can get some mice and some bugs in there as well. Like you're gonna be okay. That's what I'm saying. They're not replacing all food with bugs for kids.
Right. Statistically, at least a few times throughout your life, a spider's gonna crawl into your nose and into your throat when you're sleeping. That actually, Ben.
I'm dying here. I'm sorry, guys.
Are you okay?
I got a cough. I got a cough.
Maybe you caught my cough from last week. I was surprised to find out so I was sick last week, but it was like just starting, and I thought, oh great, here we go, another week, 2 weeks of this, and it was like a few days, and I was like, oh my god, this is a massive improvement from what it normally is. I hope all my sicknesses are like this, because usually once school starts, all the germs are back, and it's just a mess again. But so far, it's been okay.
I usually get sick this time of year, with the change in seasons and it going from hot to cold pretty quickly. I always end up getting sick. By the way, just a reminder, a PSA for everybody, there's a new COVID vaccine available that gives you about 3 months of good immunity. Time that with the holidays so that way you have the maximum protection. Not sponsored by Big Pharma, although it is not covered by insurance. I think it's covered by Medicare, but we're going to have to pay for it out of pocket.
What's the out-of-pocket cost?
So this one, I think it's over $100. I don't know. I haven't scheduled my appointment yet. The last time when my insurance rejected the last booster, it was $250 per person. No. I think it was $250 for me and my husband. I can't remember, but it was a lot of money to get both of them. But thankfully, I was able to get that waived because I threatened my insurance company and told them they were breaking the law. But yeah, that is available. So time that for the holidays so you have maximum protection because this new strain is apparently very, very shitty.
I will definitely need to get that.
Mm-hmm.
Super chats? Anything else?
Yeah.
It's really quiet today.
I feel like
dying.
My headphones stopped working.
I'm afraid to start talking.
My headphones stopped working, and I'm hearing it through my laptop speaker over here. It's just a very bizarre situation I'm in right now. But
I'm Hawk Tuaing all over this microphone right now.
Nice, spit on that thing.
I am actually.
All right. Well, if there's no more news.
Yeah, let's get the super chat.
Let's get
out of here early.
We finished last time. What was it, like 11 p.m.? I forget what it was, but it was great. It was just like, oh, this is perfect.
That's wonderful.
Ryan Chan.
Is there really no more news though? I feel like
no, nothing else happened. Let's go. No, nothing else happened. Let's go.
All right. I feel bad. It's so early. All right.
No, people will bring up topics and we'll be like, oh, of course, that thing.
Right.
That's true. That's true. All right, guys, send those super chats, and I'll be happy to.
No, you could just stop there. That's enough. We could just do these 24, and we're good.
No, keep. I want.
Ryan Chan, $2.
Who's Ryan Chan?
I want to keep the show going, folks.
I would like to get off early. I would love to play Zelda tonight. The new Zelda that came out. Although I don't know if I actually probably won't have time.
It is our duty to make sure that Mike Figueredo does not have time to play Zelda tonight.
What?
It's a new Zelda.
Give Mike the Zelda time, because I would like my own time as well to, I don't know, watch YouTube videos. I played some games today, so I'm probably good in the gaming. But
what'd you play? I'm curious.
I want to go to bed at a nice time. What?
What'd you play? I'm curious, just real quick. I
so this game's on early access called Drive Rally. I love like rally games. It's like an indie rally game, so I grabbed that. I played more of the Metaphor ReFantasio demo, which I want to finish before the game comes out because you could transfer your save over. There's so many. There are too many games out.
Nice.
It's a little ridiculous because for some reason I started playing SMT4 Apocalypse a few days ago, which was really stupid to do because that's like a 40-hour game. But I'm like, I want to play this game now, and then so I'm like a few hours into that. It's a JRPG. I knew it. Again, Metaphor's a JRPG, comes out in a couple weeks, so it's just I'm stupid. And then Dragon Age at the end of the month in October comes out, which is looking pretty good too. There's just a lot of fun stuff that is beginning to hit and it's already hit. Not to mention NHL. I have such a wild taste. I love sports games, and then I'll play like a Japanese RPG like SMT4 Apocalypse on the 3DS. I'm all over the place.
I'll go from playing like a Souls-like and then the Plucky Squire, which is like a baby game.
I got into that too. That game didn't grab me as much as I thought it would.
Oh, you're playing
so much talking.
It's fun. It's fun.
I loved it. There was too much talking.
It was like a
but it was
Nintendo
really
game.
Cute. Yeah, good Nintendo game.
I like how it goes through all the genres of old NES games and stuff. You get to play like Punch Out and then platformer. Yeah, it's a surprise.
Yeah, it was cute. I liked it. I finished it. It was short, but it was good. It was good. I just wish that there wasn't as much talking, but it was fun. Okay, This is for me from Ryan Chen, $2. Olay is running victory laps today. Absolutely, she is. Dynamic Editor with $5. Thank you. Gonna play Walls Vans Bingo on Mike's Discord server on Tuesday. Here's the card slots me and others made. Hey, very cool. Very cool. Asa with $2. Thank you, Asa. Do you think
Wait, hold on. The debate is on Tuesday?
It's on Tuesday, yep. October 1st.
Are we doing something? Are we doing it?
I'm down.
I will not be
Can
here,
we-
but you know,
Who's
Can
not
we
gonna be
stream
here?
it without a problem?
I won't be. So, but you
I
guys
think we
can.
can. We did the
What are you
Kamala
doing?
one. It was fine.
I'm visiting friends in Montreal. Gonna be on the other side of Canada.
Ooh, all right. We'll have a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, well, we should do it. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine they're gonna care. They're gonna if they didn't care about the main event of Kamala and Trump. I can't imagine they're gonna care about the sideshow that is.
Isn't it like News Nation or something that's doing it? It's like
Is
a
it
weird
really?
network.
Huh.
Oh, it's the one Chris Cuomo works for.
Yeah, so
Really?
I think they're more online. They may be more weird about it, but whatever.
How'd
We'll
they
find
get
out.
it?
Because they have these fights over like
Is C-SPAN showing it?
probably actually yeah. So far, all the debates have been simulcast on other networks. So hopefully they do.
And if worse comes to worse, my boy Elon's got me covered. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, they can.
The 5 viewers that appear to be 4,000 viewers.
Right.
Can't wait to
Right.
broadcast to them.
Well, I think that one debate where we only streamed on Twitter, people were watching on there. But that was because it was the only way people could watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that Walls will be good on China-U.S. relations? I think he would be much better than other politicians. Definitely. He's much less hawkish. Kuya Demon with $5. Thank you, Kuya Demon. Mark Robinson has the most unhealthy post-nut clarity actions I think we've ever seen in the history of porn comments. Yeah, 1,000%, right? He doesn't feel the shame afterwards. He's fine eating in the booth. It's just there's a lot there.
I'd rather not think about it.
Yeah, same.
Tokyo Hans, did you all see the song that the porn store guys made about Mark Robinson? It is epic.
I saw it, yeah.
I did not. I have no idea what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, I didn't even
What?
tell you guys about that. So the porn star employee that
Let's
said
play it.
Robin
bit of
would
it.
come in, Robinson would come in like 5 days a week, and he bought a bootleg from him and never paid him for one of them. He literally he's in a band and he made a song about how the lieutenant governor owes him $25, and it's for that porn shop or porn tape, I should say.
Is it a new song or like?
He made it a couple of years ago, I think.
Oh, so it's been around for a while.
What?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that part's crazy.
And they feature Robinson like a guy like in a mask. It seems it feels racist to me, the mask that they use to portray
Okay.
Robinson. I don't think that was their intent, and that's just my opinion. But it feels like I probably would not have used that. You could still make the song about how he owes you $25 for the bootleg porn without it, but nonetheless, yeah, it's out there.
Law Gnomes, $5. Thank you. It says it's absolutely wild that we assign higher standards and ask tougher questions to Miss America contestants and pop icons than we do politicians.
Seriously.
In some cases, that is true. Kuya Damon, thank you for your $5. Seconding your excitement for Ghost of I want to say it properly. I think it's Yote. Maybe Yotai. Yote. I think it's Yote. Ghost of Yote. I also just downloaded the Metaphor Fantasio demo on PlayStation, like I was just talking about. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it. I think it's really good so far. It feels a lot more like Persona and SMT than I was expecting. Not that that's a bad thing, but that they were trying to make it sound like this is more of like a third pillar, like a more of a different thing. It's not really all that different from like Persona or SMT, which is fine. Those games are great, but it definitely feels very much in line with all of that.
Oh, it's for me. Tokyo Hans with super chat. As everyone knows, NYC is the Pyongyang of America. Is that how you say that? Pyongyang? Pyongyang?
Pyongyang. Yeah. That'd be that clip probably exists somewhere.
I'm sure.
It's from me. Tumbosin with a super chat. Brooklyn is fucking not. We don't claim him. This is was in response to when he said Brooklyn is the Tel Aviv of America.
Zero PE with $4.99. Thank you, Zero. In honor of Ole and more clowning on Adams, please play Adams' anti-drug campaign ad. That ish is comedy gold. Yeah, that's the one where he's going through the room, right? Where he's like,
"Oh, we gotta play it. We gotta play it."
Something as simple as a crack pipe.
That's what I made a reference earlier. Nobody got it, but
popular
knapsack with many different locations. That's for me. That's the quote that comes out of that.
Knapsack.
Popular knapsack with many different locations. It's just a
How
funny
old
way
is
to
he?
describe a knapsack. If someone has a link, we could play it. I don't want to have to go search right now, but feel free. As I answer this question, Kumar 01234. I guess the others were taken. Thank you so much for your generous $10 super chat. Says, hey guys, I'm in Georgia going through. Is it Helene? I haven't been following this storm. Helene or Helen? It's Helene.
I think
I'm
it's
guessing.
Helene, right?
Okay. Hope Florida and Georgia understand that NOAA played a big part in preparing us, and we vote for the candidate who doesn't want to get rid of it. Also, Adam is a dino.
Yeah, that's all super, super correct. By the way, you just reminded me. That's why Rebecca wasn't on tonight. She's in the hurricane situation, so I believe she left.
She's safe. She's safe. She's staying with friends. Or sorry, family. I think she's staying with her sister. Yeah, so she's safe. Needs
so that's why she couldn't make it on. But yeah, Trump wants to get rid of the NOAA, which is such a stupid thing. But yeah.
Check the private chat area.
Here we go. We can many different locations. Let's get this done. Wait, let me get this off the screen for now.
Any minute now.
Jury box. A jury box of this nature, maybe a simple jury box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun. Look at picture frames and behind them, cameras. Try to determine what's taking place. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets. You should always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe. Something simple as a baby doll. Could be just a baby doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs.
Where you can secrete
drugs. That's unusual. Like a pillow like this with a button is a perfect invitation to hide something. And I felt something bumpy. I would reach in, see what it is. Just look and see what's inside the bookcases. It could be more than just books. Perfect place to hide cocaine. You can look in the jewelry.
We gotta get. Who's the original editor of this? Is it this guy, Mike Scollin? The original editor of this is freaking
so good.
I'm not sure if it's him because I think it's older than that.
There's a longer version, obviously, of his PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like there's certain cuts. I think that they must add the music because the music is just it's I don't know. It just fits it so well, but it's like very like somber. Really,
I love.
good
you're right. There are some great lines in that. Something
popular knapsack with many different locations. I think about that when I see any knapsack, and I'm like, that's a popular knapsack with many different locations.
Something as simple as a crack pipe. I like that one.
Something as simple as a crack pipe.
And then check the doll for because it could secrete, which is not the word he was looking for. Because that doll ain't secreting.
You could secrete or hide drugs.
Right.
Secrete drugs.
And there is actually, I think a very underrated part is where he's like, you could just feel for it, and you feel something, and he sticks his hand in the pillowcase and pulls out a handgun.
It's really excellent.
See, if you really want to hide drugs, you get a Bible, you hollow it out, cut a little hole, and then you put the drugs in that. They're never going to check the Bible.
Mike knows.
Desecrate a book like that. Yeah.
That was you growing up for sure. You had Bibles all over the house. You're like,
you mean secrete a book like that?
Exactly.
That's where you secrete the drugs in the Bible.
The drugs won't secrete from the Bible, which is why it's a really great hiding place.
All right.
He is he really is something else. My God, I'll miss him in a weird way.
Yeah.
I hope he still. I hope he gets some more of him. Just a little bit more. Done.
I hope he sticks around, just not in office.
He'll get a Fox News show or something. So.
We'll still get some fun clips.
It's funny you compared him to Rob Ford, because I felt that when Rob Ford died. I was like, he was so terrible, such a bad person, terrible politician. But man, they don't make him like that anymore.
They don't make him like that anymore.
They don't make
actually,
anymore,
I played, in case anyone, not my favorite Rob Ford clip. Let me play them, because I played it in my video today about Eric Adams, because I thought, I'm like, I haven't seen a mayor this entertaining since Rob Ford. And I played my favorite Rob Ford clip, which today still hits. Let me bring.
Is this the one about his wife?
Don't say it. No spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers.
I'm just hoping it's the one, because
in
America that was slapping for us because it was on Daily Show. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Love that clip. Oh, I love this clip.
Let me get this thing off the screen, which we keep. I will get to your super chat.
You're gonna have to spank the little tiger cats. Oh, and the last thing was Olivia Gondak. It says that I want to eat her pussy. Olivia Gondak. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home. Thank you very much.
What a king!
I forgot about that.
More than enough to eat at home.
More than enough to eat at home.
With pussy.
Oh my God!
Swimming in pussy at home.
More than enough to eat at home. Which you can take so many ways. Like that can mean many things.
Yeah, I'm sure his wife wasn't too happy about that one.
No, I can't imagine.
Well, based on what he's saying, she seems very happy.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if any woman would want their husband going on national TV and tell the world that she's got a big fat pussy.
More than enough.
Well, I mean, he's dead.
Oh my God!
I will finally get your super chat, which I've seen your name before. I want to say Table Toast, but I have that probably is not the name, but that's what it looks like to me. $2 super chat. Thank you. Says I accidentally my whole password.
That's a throwback reference. Ryan Chan with $2. Thank you. Apparently Andrew Cuomo wants to run for mayor. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Come on.
People should know Andrew Cuomo endorsed Eric Adams.
Why? Okay, you know New York City. Would he win a race?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I mean, it's hard to tell, honestly.
That's wild.
He would. It's America. We have no standards.
Yeah, but it's New York. New York City should know better.
Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. Matt, you have any thoughts about Rudy Giuliani losing his law license in Washington, D.C.? Good. Yeah. It serves him right. Rudy Giuliani should lose his law license if he's got it anywhere else, too. I mean, would you trust that guy with...
I thought you were going to say Rudy Giuliani should lose his life, too. I was like, damn, Matt.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. I mean, he's just a bad guy. He's just a bad guy. The idea that he was able to coast on, like, I hate to call it that, but this is exactly what it was. 9/11 clout for as long as he did. Mm-hmm. Even that he was able to at all. Like... is absurd. Absurd. It's gross. It's gross.
John.
In fact, it's one of the best. I think it was Biden, right? Back in the day. That was one of Biden's best lines, right? That Rudy Giuliani could be summed up as something 9/11.
He said that?
I think Biden back in the day. I think Biden said that.
I feel like that's too impressive for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good line. That's a little too. I feel like that's so.
Maybe it wasn't Biden. Someone. Yeah, it was. It was back in 2007.
Wow.
Joe Biden. This is from Politico in 2007. Joe Biden gets the first real laugh in the press file with his sharp attack on Rudy Giuliani's suggestion that Democrats don't have the right executive experience to be president. This is what Biden said. Giuliani is probably the most underqualified man since George Bush to seek the presidency, Biden said. Rudy Giuliani, there's only 3 things he needs to make a sentence: a noun and a verb and 9/11.
That's great. Who wrote that for him? Because I can't imagine Biden thought that up. That's too good.
Wait, here's a clip. Actually, I think. Hold on.
I'll watch that.
Let me make sure. Yeah, this is wow. Biden looks completely different here. Here, let me drop it in the chat.
He looks healthy.
He looks about 80 years younger. It's a Facebook. It's the first thing that came up.
I was wondering. It linked me to something else. It linked me to like a news feed.
Oh wait, here we go. I found I found the YouTube video. Hold on. I found a YouTube video. 1 second. Here you go.
While you're doing that, I'll quickly read just the 2 super chats I have. Thanks, Omega Star. Appreciate you and Looney Tunes. Thank you for the $4.99. I bet that Ron DeSantis is hiding in the caves while his people in Florida suffer from the hurricane. He just doesn't care. And,
sorry.
Yeah, or is mentioned.
This country. And the irony is Rudy Giuliani, probably the most underqualified man since George Bush to seek the presidency, is here talking about any of the people here. Rudy Giuliani. I mean, think about it. Rudy Giuliani, there's only 3 things he mentioned in a sentence: a noun and a verb and 9/11. I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. And I mean it sincerely.
That's fantastic.
He is genuinely not qualified to be president. Here's a man who brags about how he made the city safe. It was the Biden crime bill that became the Clinton crime bill that allowed him to do that. They wipe it out. He remains silent. The 9/11 Commission comes along and says the way to keep your city safe is to do the following things. He's been silent. He's been done nothing. And now he's talking about he's going to go in and he will demonstrate to Iran he's going to, in fact, lay down the law. This man is truly not qualified to be president. I'm looking forward to running against Rudy Giuliani. And with regard to my experience, hey, Bill, 1979, I led a delegation of 19 senators negotiating the START agreement with Brezhnev. I was
okay, we need the rest of them.
One day he would be the guy that strengthens NATO. Who knew?
Look at young Obama up there. That was something else, right?
Pre-war criminal Obama. Beautiful.
So innocent.
Who's got John Deere?
John Deere. With a super chat from me. NYPD shot 3 transit riders over $3 fare. Eric Adams stole $10 million. Oh, this you must have sent this before I said that. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Let's try you, Matt.
Matt.
Hold on.
Hit the buzzer, David.
You could just read it on screen.
This is Tunbosin with a super chat. Bruh, Hawk Tuapod, MFers are still down bad.
They are.
I will agree with that.
Law Gnomes says a pod save guy was first kicked off of Survivor.
Was he really?
I heard about that. I haven't watched Survivor in years.
Yeah, same.
Really? There was a pod save guy on.
Yeah, he was the first one kicked off the show.
Really?
Yeah. Which doesn't surprise me because he is like the caricature of a smug liberal that you can't even hear because you just want to like crawl out of your skin. He's like the worst of all the pod save guys.
I don't want to defend them, but I will say they wanted Biden to drop out. Like they weren't like defending Biden during that whole thing. That they're at least on the correct side of some of those issues occasionally.
Right. They did
but
get ripped
there's definitely more,
too.
They're less critical of Democrats, obviously.
Yeah, which we don't love, but I do like that they wanted Biden to drop out.
Adam Ilioff with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, Matt, I have no idea why a bunch of white supremacists, sexually repressed racists would be interested in listening to the girl who talked about spitting on D. Just can't put my finger on it. I get it. Yes, I know. There's probably an overlap between right-wingers and the Hawk Tuah girl listenership.
I just hate the way she spells her name. Do you see the way she spells her name? Haley?
Yes.
It's like H-A-L-I-E.
Oh
Why?
God.
It's like, why would
No.
our parents do that? That's so stupid.
No, it's terrible.
Cosmere Dragon with $5. Thank you. Watching Leftist Mafia with my cats while playing Animal Well on Switch. Love that. Power keeps
Animal
flickering.
Well is so good.
It
Animal
is
Well is
good.
such a good game.
Power keeps
Animal
flickering
Well?
as Hurricane Helene passes, hoping power stays on. LOL. Well, I hope so too. That sucks.
Yeah.
What's Animal Well?
It is a 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania, and it has a lot of secrets. Like it's a game with like it seems very simple at first, and then the more you play, you're like, holy
So
shit! Like,
tricky.
There is so much to it. Like it's deceptive in that way. It's
Made by one guy.
Yeah, if anyone's ever played Fez, it's kind of like there's like elements of like Fez in there and sort of like the mystery of it. It's a very very good game. It's actually probably so far still my favorite game of the year. Like
Really?
I have a running list, and that is still currently number one.
Wow.
I love it. Where was I?
I love it too.
There. Matt
I
loves
love it
too.
3. Tokyo Hans, 1,000 yen. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, Mike, I haven't bought your book. Please enjoy this money instead. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
This is for me. Yes, Tokyo Hans. Vance has been campaigning hard around the country. I wonder if he has been couch surfing. Kowalski with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Kowalski. Why? Oh, my throat. Sorry, give me a second. Why are people afraid to eat bugs? I don't like eating prey, animals. I prefer only eating predators, pound for pound. Spiders are the predator meat of choice. I eat 1,500 calories of spider every day. Okay, Kowalski.
You know, I don't know if you all
Must
saw.
be a Nebraska thing. Must be a
They
Nebraska
do
thing.
sell cricket chips. I saw cricket chips, and I did not buy them because
I actually have tried those before.
I've had fried
How are
crickets
they?
in Mexico.
They're
In Mexico, they
fine.
make them really
Nothing
good with like
special.
spicy sauce and stuff. They'll spice them really nicely. It's just like a crunchy, spicy dish. It doesn't. I wasn't like, oh my god, I can taste the bug. You know.
See, I'm a little bit traumatized from crickets because I had a bearded dragon and also like a tarantula. So like animals that needed crickets for
Cool.
feeding. And we had a big cricket cage. And not only did it stink really quickly, but one day we ordered a box of 500 and they all got out in our apartment. So we had to
Oh my
catch
God.
all 500 crickets. We couldn't catch them all. So like, you know, in the middle of the night, you get a cricket on your face. It was a nightmare
my
scenario.
God. Fuck that.
Like a plague
Yeah.
of locusts all over the house.
Yeah,
and
it
you
was-
were a religious family too.
Were they noisy at night?
Yeah. So if you go back to the very, very first episode of the Humanist Report, I forgot to take the crickets out of the room that I was filming. So, because you know, if you just hear that all day, it's not even like
Yeah,
you
it
don't
just
even,
sounds normal to you.
So like when I went back to edit it, all you hear is crickets. I'm like, oh fuck me.
Oh my
all
God.
you hear is crickets. So yeah, it was crazy. Although our cat was helping us catch them, she'd like pounce on them and she wouldn't hurt them. So we'd like grab it, throw it in the cage. It was So I have a thing about crickets that it's a lot of history there.
That's so funny.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
What about y'all have had the worm like in tequila? I'm sure, right? Like
I haven't.
No,
because
the
I don't
worm?
drink. I don't drink.
None of you? Oh wow. Oh yeah, fair.
I drink, but I've never had the worm.
I drink for alcohol, not for worms. I don't know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But just the novelty of it. It's
What
like,
kind
it's
of a
the
worm is it?
It's the worm.
When you
that
keep
the-
saying
grows
when
the
you keep
agave.
saying the worm, I keep thinking of Dennis Rodman. Why are you saying the worm?
The
Like
dance.
it's a
I'm
title.
thinking of RFK Jr. now. But-
Who's this for?
This is for Matt.
Oh, I'm guessing it's for me. Tokyo Han says, if you have eaten an Oscar Mayer wiener, you have eaten bugs and raccoon feet and pig intestine. And I was actually going to say that
Probably, yeah.
before, but we moved on. Yeah, in hot dogs, apparently there's a large list of various things that are in there.
Yeah.
And listen, hot dogs are delicious. So what? Just lather that baby up with ketchup, mustard, and sauerkraut, and I don't care what the fuck's in a hot dog.
Yeah, they are good. Though I prefer the all
You
beef
would be
ones. Though
starved.
even those, who knows if they're actually all beef? I don't fucking know.
You know, Morningstar has really
They're-
good vegetarian corn dogs. Those are the best corn dogs I've ever had. I love
Donut
them.
place?
Huh?
Is it the donut place Morningstar? The one with those really good
Oh
donuts?
no, Morningstar makes like a lot of vegetarian and vegan. It's like a brand. Like they
I
make
will
like
say that
frozen stuff.
having been vegetarian and vegan for like a few years, there is very little difference between vegan hot dogs and actual hot dogs.
Yeah.
It's like
I
one
bet
of
I
the-
could tell.
It is like
I
what
bet I
you
could
could
tell.
you could definitely
tell.
okay.
It's
Yes,
very
you could,
soy.
you could still tell, but it is closer than because they're both made of fucking random shit anyways. Like it's not really that much of a difference. It's just flavoring.
Yeah. Although I did, there was one brand that I tried of a vegetarian hot dog that did taste like death, and I had to throw them away because I was like, "This is awful." But they do make really good ones. Like if you take the corn dogs that I'm talking about, the Morningstar ones, it's a 4-pack. If you throw those in the air fryer,
Oh,
beautiful. So
air
good.
fryers are fucking amazing.
Yep.
They're one of the few things that's worth the hype, you know? Like
Yes.
anytime there's so much hype.
I make hot
surrounding
dogs in there
something, it's
now. You put a hot dog in there, it's the
Nice.
best way to make a hot dog is air fryer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give
Yeah,
you all
we'll
some
try.
life advice. Okay, get an Uncrustable, put it in the air fryer. If you really want to be crazy, maybe brush some butter on it. You don't even have to do that. Put it in the air fryer for 8 minutes. It is a pastry after that. It's delicious. It is so good.
Wow.
Yum.
Angela W, thank you for your $6.99. Says, Dear BC, don't vote for crankpot conspiracy theorists. It will destroy your province. Signed, an Albertan. P.S. We still get our COVID vaccines for free.
Yeah, so do we.
I haven't
That's
had
why
a
I was so
booster
curious.
in
I
a
was like,
while.
how
I
much
should
do
do
you
that.
pay for COVID vaccine? Because I just don't think about that. When you're like $100, it's like $100. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Well, wait till you hear about what else we pay for when it comes to healthcare.
Oh,
in
no,
the
yeah.
United States of America, my
Well,
friend.
those I'm aware.
Yeah. No,
Although it's weird, I'm buying my medicine from Amazon now, and it's like, okay, it's $60 without insurance, but with insurance, it was $63. And I'm like, I'll go for the without insurance option. Why am I paying $700 a month? Like what?
The insurance is insurance in general is so they're fucking terrible people. I mean,
Yeah.
I should say the corporations are terrible. People working there can't help it. But
Yeah.
Tokyo Hans.
Thanks, Obama.
It is kind of his fault, actually.
Is this for me? Yep.
Probably.
Tokyo Hans with a super chat. I told you so is an insufficient response from Ole on the Eric Adams indictment. Maniacal laughter is the only appropriate response. She should be
agree.
spiking the football. Absolutely. She should really be. I mean, I
I'm
know
looking
she
forward
is.
to a video.
Yeah.
She's working on it right now. That's why she apparently couldn't come on tonight.
I cannot wait to watch that video. Oh, real quick, 0PE in the chat is saying that he saw that Biden is making COVID tests free again. So you should be able to order them. I don't know what the website is, but look out for that because you should get 2 of them. And they each contain 2 tests. So 4 altogether, I believe, but they're still doing it the same way. So definitely take advantage of that.
Yep. Don't forget you could get Hawk 2 of them.
Oh my god. Terrible.
Hawk 2 of the polls.
Terrible. Bitey face puppy guy. Thank you for your generous Canadian super chat. Ron DeSantis hurricane abatement proposal number 1 of 4. No hurricane names that sound like drag queens. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. Another one. Ron DeSantis hurricane abatement proposal number 2.
2 of 4.
This is 2 of 4. Okay. Atlantic hurricane naming conventions must reflect that there are only 2 genders. Number 3 of 4, no public spending on shore protection works because sea level rise is not a thing. And 4 of 4, look at this generous super chat. Thank you so much for your various super chats. 4 of 4, potentially damaging hurricane tracks will be altered by Sharpie markers. Thank you, David Letterman here with the countdown. Thank you so much.
That was great.
This one's for me. The Critical Plug with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Critical Plug. This one is for each of
plug?
This one is for each of you. There are numerous conspiracy theories out there pertaining to government. So my question is, what is the wildest one you have ever heard? Oh,
that
boy.
like a lot of people believe? Because I could answer that.
I mean,
pretty quick.
QAnon's got to be the craziest one that went.
That's what I was going to say.
It has to be the craziest one.
Post QAnon, a fraction of QAnon broke off and thought that Trump had won the election, but it was Joe Biden. It was Trump in a Joe Biden skin suit. And I think that was one of the craziest things. And they went with that for a while. You were actually witnessing, him just wearing him like a mask. And I was like, all right. That's
wow.
where y'all are at.
Okay. That's the craziest one. I just feel like I'm not creative enough to think about what people will fall for. You know what I mean? Like
anything.
It's that fucking crazy and people still believe it? Or is it really just people just wanting to have some fun? Like, you know.
Well, the last that I saw of QAnon a couple years ago, I kind of stopped following it because I just lost interest, was that a 13-year-old girl had kind of like rose up as a leader of QAnon and one of the like factions or something. Yeah, I don't know if she's still, you know,
is there like is there a splinter between like the two
there's
factions?
There's a lot
and
of
the other side
splinters.
sees her as a false prophet and they all despise her and want to kill her and stuff like that.
I actually have not heard of the 13-year-old girl. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I did a video on it. It's it was based off of an article from somewhere. It's a couple of years ago though. It's like 2022, I want to say. If you look on my channel, 13-year-old girl QAnon, you'll find it. But yeah, I don't remember the details. But yeah, she kind of rose up as like a leader, not like the leader, but a leader in like whatever little insular sect of QAnon that they were in. Her mom got her into it, sadly, and she was trying to get other kids into it after she got involved.
Chris Thibodeau, thank you for your super chat or member super chat. David, you hear anything about this new Canadian party, Canada Futures? Claim to be evidence-based for policy decisions. Wouldn't that be nice in politics? Are you talking about the centrist, what the self-proclaimed like centrist party, which already exists, which is the Liberal Party, but this is like a new party that claims they're the center party?
Yeah, there was. I think it was a guy who broke off from the Conservative Party to form an Andrew Yang like centrist party, which is going to be very Andrew Yang-y.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. No, they're not right.
I don't think they'll get any seats, and I also think it'll drain seats from the Conservatives. So it's net good, in my opinion. Yeah.
Ryan Lennon fan is not for me. It's for someone else.
Oh, this was for me. Ryan Lennon fan with a membership super chat. Member for 14 months. Thank you, Ryan Lennon fan. New York City would be nothing without pizza. Is this a Eric Adamsism? That's what it sounds like.
It does sound like. Oh no, there's a R.M. Brown sound drop, and it's from it's some other New Yorker that I forget what the genesis of it is, but it does sound like an Eric Adams thing.
New York would be nothing without pizza. That's what. That's what.
Yeah, I can hear him saying that. I lost my place. Here we go.
Dragon in the West with $5. Thank you. Ah, yes, people secreting substances. That's why I tell my girlfriend every time I kiss her. Gross.
Justin Fan with a super chat.
Ah,
Wait,
yes,
happened?
people secreting substances.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking.
I missed the last one. I looked away for a second.
It was.
Yes, people
yes.
secreting substances. Very hot.
Justin Fan with a super chat. Matt, you made me laugh while I was drinking watermelon juice when you said big fat pussy. And I almost got it up my nose. Ambiguity. Wow.
That's good.
We might get
Dragon in
demonetized
the
on that.
West.
We're gonna get
$5. Glory
demonetized
to the
over that.
absolute RFK Jr. Did he actually say that? That's weird. Why
Glory
there's so
to
many
the
weirdos in
absolute.
politics. I'm so sick of politics.
Did Ben
know, I
Shapiro
hear you.
get demonetized when he sang wet ass pussy? Is he no?
No, because he said P word.
Okay, it's Ben Shapiro. Do you know, you guys should know this story. I got demonetized. This is like 4 years ago. I got a video demonetized that hit like 300,000 views criticizing Ben Shapiro. And I know, I can't prove it, but I fucking know he saw the video and had connections at the time with YouTube. And that's what got the video. Because I was like back and forth with them and they would not, it was simply a criticism. It's when he appeared in that British show and he got like fucking owned. And I made fun of him. Like I did it was like a whole fucking thing. And this video blew the fuck up. And he definitely saw it and got that fucking video demonetized, even though there was no reason at all to demonetize. People like that don't get demonetized for anything they do. So like, no, he's unless it's like, you know,
He also did
a
say
Nazi.
P word. He said P word, not pussy.
But there's nothing wrong.
He did
with
it though,
saying-
David. He
That's
did
right.
it. He has a YouTube
That's
Connect. He's big enough.
That's right.
It's not like we're saying some like pussy is completely fine. I'm talking about my pussycat. I love my
Oh my
pussycat.
god.
I love
For a
pussycats.
second, you're like, I'm talking about my pussy cat.
Yeah, my big fat
my
pussycat.
pussycat. Yes, I love my pussycat.
Oh well, when I said pussy, I meant vagina.
That works on TV.
I love going down to kiss my big fat pussycat. I have
My
I have
wife.
more than enough to eat at home. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Did we do this one?
I don't think we did, right?
No, we
Oh,
did
I skipped
not.
by.
Tun Bosin with a super chat. As a freshman state senator on the House floor, Adams complained about how low his salary was. It kind of shows you where his head is at. Show me the money. How is he supposed to afford Turkish airline $15,000 flights with a state senator's salary, folks? Come on. Fred J. Walsh with an $8 super chat. I think it's the first time I've ever seen anyone give an $8 super chat.
I was going to say that's very specific.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's better than $5, so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's a number you don't usually see. Whenever indictments get handed down, I instantly hear the Trump clip from the show opening. I did nothing wrong and they indicted me. Thanks for streaming. I will say I don't think enough focus is being put on Adams's defense, which is that the Biden administration
They indicted me.
right. The Biden administration is out to get him. Like, this is a Democrat, an establishment style Democrat.
Is that his defense or other people defending him?
No, he is saying that they've been out to get him because he fights for New Yorkers. He's alluding to the fact, the migrant thing, and he had New Yorkers, New Yorkers' interest at heart, and the Biden administration's out to get him for it.
What an idiot. Well, that's why there's people.
Also, it should be noted that he is one of the electors in New York. So I saw someone, I forget who, I saw someone point out online, how funny would it be if it came down to one of the electors' votes between Kamala and Trump and and fucking Eric Adams did the stolen he changed his electoral vote for Trump to stick it to the Biden administration.
If he had the opportunity.
Yep.
Kowalski says, before becoming the Cornhuskers, the University of Nebraska were the bug eaters. During a locust plague in the late 1800s, Nebraskans had to eat locust-based broth to survive the winter. It's okay. Is any of this true? You know a lot of history about your home state there.
The critical plug with $5. Thank you. Given how we are all agnostic atheists here, have any of you ever broke down a logical explanation to a paranormal experience? And if so, what was it? No, that doesn't exist. I don't believe in paranormal activity or anything like that or ghosts. I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
But they're asking, have you broke down a logical explanation to?
Oh, yeah, it's
I
because-
guess you thought you had, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Because as a kid, when it's dark, maybe in your peripheral vision, you see something when it's dark. But your brain tries to construct patterns. So if you see like a shadow and you're like, oh, that's a face, your brain is trying, it programmed you to see that as like a face. So it's just kind of what we do. And also, this isn't necessarily paranormal, but when you hear about like these near-death experiences where people start seeing their loved ones and they see the light, that's DMT. They're tripping. Before death, your body releases that. It's something that you can actually smoke. It's in nature, but it's also in your body naturally. So yeah. It's all fake.
One year when I was a child, I swore up and down. It was the night before Easter. I was in bed sleeping. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I swore up and down that I saw the Easter bunny, like a full-sized giant bunny holding a basket in my room, and I swore that it was the Easter bunny. And the logical explanation isn't that there was some, religious thing. The logical explanation is that a gigantic bunny broke into my house. and I saw it. I mean, obviously I was a fucking kid and I was thinking of the Easter bunny, and in my half asleep, I imagined seeing a fucking bunny because it was the night before Easter. I mean, you know, people. There's logical explanations. People imagine things. People see things. Sometimes lights and whatever play tricks on people's
Airplanes might be
eyes.
Santa Claus, according to me and my friend when we were 8.
Right. Yeah.
I thought I saw a ghost when I was a kid. Like I was convinced. For years I was convinced I saw it because it was at my my uncle's cottage. So this is like in in the forest somewhere, and so I thought I saw this figure when I woke up in the middle of the night, but I was like it was a weird experience. Like my stomach was hurting. I went to the bathroom, so I couldn't be bothered by it. But I'm like I thought I saw this thing, but I wasn't scared enough to stay in my bed. Like I got up to go to the washroom still, but I described it like the next day, and this is what helped convince me I definitely saw this. He was wearing like one of those hats. I don't know what they're called. But like a lot of grandpas wear these hats, but like it looked like that. Like he was wearing this hat, and so I described this figure to like my aunt, and like her and my grandma are like looking at each other like confused. My cousin's grandfather had died at that cottage like the year before, and he always wore those hats. so I was convinced I saw him, and I must have just seen like a shadow. Like I still remember the figure. It was like a few, I don't know, it was like 20 feet away in like the kitchen somewhere. And I swear I still saw that figure there, but it was probably just some shadow, whatever. And just, whatever, looked like he was wearing that hat. But it's just, I was convinced I saw that fucking ghost.
You could have saw like a picture also of him, and then like
no, it wasn't he wasn't. It wasn't.
I mean like before that, like a picture in the house, and then
maybe that's possible. Yeah,
to that.
Yeah,
because I thought that I saw a UFO when I was in 3rd grade when we were driving back home. But like a couple years later, I realized it wasn't a UFO. Because like what happened was there was like these lights that like swooped down, and I saw it when we were driving by. So it was really quick, and I like ducked because I'm like, oh my god. But then it happened again a couple years later, and it was just like a reflection of some like sign on the car window. But when you're little, you don't really think about it. But later, you're like, oh, okay, I didn't see a UFO. Okay, fuck.
I will say though that I 100% believe in Santa Claus.
Well, yeah, obviously, and he is definitely white.
Like
Megyn Kelly told us that. So
just like Jesus.
Yes, just like Jesus. Celeste with $4.99. Matt needs to try the Impossible brand for veggie meat. Yeah, you do. You can't tell, especially in the taste. There's no need to dead things anymore. Yeah, honestly, I guarantee you, even with if you take a chicken sandwich, like the chicken patty from Impossible, and compare that to a McChicken, you literally cannot tell the difference. I promise you.
I can tell.
I don't know. If we did a blind taste test, I think that you might be tricked.
It's definitely the closest to meat for sure.
Yeah.
We should do a blind taste test. I should do that. I would love to do that.
You should.
But I'm like 99% sure that I could tell.
You can probably tell because one tastes healthier than the other one. It's just like just in terms of like grease. Like I will say that the veggie stuff is definitely like it's very close. But if anything, it's you could argue in some ways tastes better because it doesn't feel as like gross. Like it isn't as heavy.
It doesn't sit in your stomach like a brick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that. Whenever I eat a regular hamburger, like when I would eat at Burger King, I would always feel sick. But if I go there and I get the Impossible Whopper, I feel fine. Like it's still bad because it's grease, right? And the greasy French fries and stuff like that. But it's not like you don't feel like there's a brick that like you feel it moving through your system and you're like for like a day and a half and you're like, why did I eat that?
Tunbosin with super chat. Rest in peace, Marcellus. How do you say his name? I'm sorry,
Marcellus Williams.
Marcellus Williams. Yeah, that
abolished the death penalty. What the fuck?
Fucking sad.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that was insane.
The idea that like there'd even be a question whether he did it or he was guilty or not. That should be an automatic.
The victim's
like, the death penalty
parents
shouldn't. Like
came out and said he's innocent. The prosecutor said he's innocent. It's insane to me.
Like the death penalty should not exist.
Evidence tampering.
But even living in the world where it does, there should be 100% no death penalty if there's even a question someone didn't do anything. I mean, I remember I took criminal justice classes early in my education as soon as I could, because I was really interested. There was a time where I wanted to be a lawyer. And the thing that I'll always remember, that my teacher, the first thing she like got into our head is that it is like, I think the analogy she used was something like, it's better for 10 guilty people to go free than for one innocent person to be put behind bars. Like, if there's even a question that you are not guilty, then that's it. You're absolved from that. Like, you should not be, certainly not get the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kowalski with $9.99. Thank you, Kowalski. The world will never be free until the last king is strangled to death by the entrails of the last priest. You gotta have weekend goals. You know what I mean? I'll mention you in the manifesto, Mike. Whoa, let's cool it there, Kowalski. Don't mention me in that.
I think you mentioned me last week in a manifesto.
Oh.
Justin Kosak, thank you for your $5 super chat. Says, did you guys see Mehdi Hasan's debate with Elon Levy? I didn't like that open debate show, as the moderator seemed so out of touch.
I heard it's amazing. I've been meaning to watch it. It's just
I have not seen it yet.
I saw one clip where Mehdi was roasting like a questioner, but that's all I saw.
Yeah, it seems like he did really well. Everyone's
I mean,
saying
Mehdi, has he ever even come close to losing a debate? He's amazing.
Yeah. Plus, he's correct. So it's not
right.
Like, if you care about human life, he's correct.
Yeah.
International Party of Antarctica. Interesting. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Says, IPA is the only party with a permanent international revolutionary program of egalitarian singularity. All data ever created will be in public domain. Thank you for your very random super chat. I appreciate that.
Sean, member super chat. Thank you, Sean. Everyone knows that New York pizza is the kebab of Istanbul, baby. Eric Adams.
Seth Way, thank you for your $12 super chat. I've never seen a $12 super chat. Just tuning in. Sorry if you've covered it, but have any of you watched Vivek Ramaswamy's town hall in Springfield, Ohio? Cringe AF, tough to watch. I have not. It's him speaking is cringeworthy. I can't imagine a whole town hall. Why would anybody tune into that, like, willingly, unless it's for comedy purposes? Just wild. Law Gnomes, random thought, get Tim Walz doing a bunch of recovery work through Georgia from his storm. Prime time for some Mr. Fix-It energy.
Dragon in the West with $5. Thank you, Dragon. That's like the third super chat you sent. I really appreciate you. This is for everyone. What's your favorite Trump gaffe? Mine is Russia and Saudi Arabia will reap the wall. I honestly don't know, because there's so many. I don't know if it's necessarily a gaffe, but maybe the they did everything right, or I did everything right, but they indicted me, or maybe 2, where he's like 1, 2.
1, 0, 2.
Yeah, it's not a gaffe necessarily, but I really like it.
I have that here.
1 and 0 and 2.
There you go.
Like, how can you not love that?
International Party of Antarctica again. Hi, DMT, or sorry, DMT is a gateway to other dimensions.
You think it is, for sure. Not that I'm speaking from experience. I've never taken DMT. That would scare me. One day we all will, though. But anyways, Ton Bosun.
I wasn't thinking about sex at all.
What's that?
What was that?
That happened in Parliament today. There was a politician who said a homophobic comment and then wanted to deny it afterwards, and so he got really mad and started being like, "I wasn't talking about sex. I wasn't talking about 2 men having sex." And it was just kind of funny.
Oh my god! I should have covered that.
That's not the best way to defend yourself there. Very, very explicit, or not explicit. What's the word I'm looking for? Specific.
Yes,
Ton
right.
Bosun. $5. Adam's the same type of person to meet with local drug dealers at Burger King after calling Burger King a drug bazaar. Right.
And we got 2 more. A85 Ramos, thank you for your super chat. Says just thinking about little Matt running around his house screaming "F the Easter Bunny."
Samba Boy with a super chat. Please, can you guys cover the IDF shipment on 88 bodies to Gaza? It's incredibly disturbing and illegal. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you guys know what?
Yeah, I've seen. I haven't seen it in Western press, but that's not so a surprise. I've seen kind of like I think Al Jazeera was initially reporting on. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but apparently, yeah, the IDF like returned a bunch of bodies that were unrecognizable to the Palestinian Authority, and you know, obviously, just as disrespectful as possible, making it really hard for them to try and track down who they belong to, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that it has. I can't confirm it has actually happened, but I wouldn't put it past Israel to do something like that.
How crazy is it? By this time next week, we could feasibly see a ground invasion in Lebanon. They've ramped up in the West Bank, destroyed cities like Jenin, cut off the water to like most of the residents by destroying their infrastructure. They are getting buck wild, and the U.S. is like, "Hey, here's some more money for you today." Actually, I think it was like $8 billion more they approved for Israel. Sick shit.
It's terrifying, and
yeah.
Anyways, that's the last one.
I do have just a handful over at Twitch, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna butt in. Says this International Party of Antarctica. Thank you for the $2. Angela W. Thank you for the $6.99. Show Smith clips during the election. Neither is a warning or to prepare. You might end up with a copy and paste provincial bill of rights. Thank you, and go nuts. Twitch. I got a gifted sub from Twitch, the corporation. Twitch loves me. I didn't even know you watch me. Hell yeah! Thank you, Twitch. Never received a community sub from Twitch. Yeah, it's the official Twitch account.
Wow.
What? Why? How did that happen?
I don't know. I really wish I wasn't talking about penises so much, but
I have 4 Twitch viewers, so hello, 4 Twitch viewers. Hello.
There's another.
You, but when I do, my
there's
numbers
another
grow.
There's another super chat that just came in. I don't know who that's for.
Yeah, this one is for me, Angela with 279. Thank you. Waldorf salad is the poutine of New York. There's one more from Creflo, $50. Let me pull it up here for me.
Look at that. I say Twitch and I get 2 more viewers there. Weird.
Appreciate you, Creflo. What up, fam? I got my NJ mail-in ballot, and we have 3 socialist candidates from 3 different parties on the ballot for president. Rob Ford is the Eric Adams of mayors. That's a very, that's a very true statement. I love that. Thank you, Creflo.
Over on Twitch, Chadwick Von Mack, resubscriber Prime, subscriber for 6 months. Thank you, Chadwick. Mumbles459, resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1, subscriber for 2 months. Thank you, Mumbles. And then Valinova cheered 500 bits. Did you see My Pillow were on sale for $14.88? I did see that. My Pillow has been having a sale on their pillows for $14.88.
How much are they normally?
Wait, no. Do you not know the? That's not about the price, David. $14.88. The Nazi number.
White supremacy of white supremacists, like, you know, not even a dog whistle at that point. You're pretty much
Christ,
I'm a Nazi.
The 14. It refers to the 14 words, and then 88 is double H. And I'm not talking about Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I'm talking about hailing a guy whose name also begins with an H.
Jesus.
Harry.
Yeah,
Can't say
Harry.
it's surprising.
There's one more super chat for somebody.
Not me. Not me.
David.
What? Oh.
Thank you.
Tim Wilson, thank you. Says Adams flooded the police budget so much they had a toy from Boston Dynamics robot. I forgot about that stuff. Yeah, they had like the dogs. Robot greeter at Port Authority, and they want to increase the police budget. Yeah, that's insane.
Same. Bye, y'all. I'm gonna raid into Pleasantly Twisted because Pleasantly Twisted is apparently doing a charity stream. So
wait, let's all do that
Let's
together.
all do
Hold
it,
on,
yeah.
hold on. Don't jump ahead. What are you doing?
All right.
What are they called?
Is it spelled
Pleasantly?
exactly as it sounds?
Pleasantly spelled like it sounds, and then TWSTD or Twisted.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm opening it up. Give me a second. I gotta
Oh, they're
Type it
playing
up.
Darkest Dungeon 2. That's a great game.
And do it all at once. So they go, "Oh my god!" I love the reactions when people get like a bunch of raids at the same time. All right, I'm pressing the start raid button. Hold on. I'm pressing the start raid button. Let's wait for.
I did as well.
All right, hold on. We'll press the raid now button all at the same time.
All right, right now.
Everybody, great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be see you next week, obviously. And let's. You guys ready to press it?
Let's do
Here
it.
we go. Let's do it. Peace, everybody.
Goodbye.